Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the outskirts of Tyler, Texas, in the campus of Chapel Hill School District here in this little community outside of Tyler, where the Chapel Hill Bulldogs coming into tonight's contest against your Gilmer Buckeyes to open this 2022 season. I'm Todd Robinson, the host of tonight's quick pregame show. The voice of the Buckeyes, Jeff Rash, will be with us momentarily, but we have an outstanding game on tap tonight. It is the game of the week for Bally's and the state of Texas in 4A, folks. Your Gilmer Buckeyes come into tonight's game in 4A Division II. That's a division with under 1,000 students. Buckeyes have 799. Division I is Chapel Hill. We are going to do a national anthem break very quickly and come back with a pregame show.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, all the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the lands of the free and the home of the brave?
An outstanding job with the national anthem by that student from Chapel Hill. As the captains get ready to take the field for the Buckeyes tonight, it is All-State two-time and newcomer of the year 2 years ago, Rowan Fluellen, the senior. Number 4, Cade Bowman, the senior. Number 1, Tyson Wilson, the senior. And number 5, Seth Jordan, defensive lineman, the senior. As we get ready to face off against the vaunted Chapel Hill Bulldogs. So, Jeff, as we come into tonight's contest, the Chapel Hill Bulldogs are the bigger school. They're 4A Division I, but they are ranked number 3 in the state and come into tonight favored by, let's call it 3 to 7 points over these Buckeyes. Of course, this is week 0, but Chapel Hill was literally one play away last year with a starting freshman quarterback and a starting freshman running back. Both of them, their lead performers last year. We will see them tonight here in action as the coin flip has taken place. Chapel Hill has won the toss, and they have elected to defer, giving the Buckeyes the ball first, which is a good thing, Jeff, as the Buckeyes will open on offense. But, Jeff, let me tell you something. It's like Coach Metzel just scheduled the AFC West here for the first 4 games. To say that the Buckeyes, the first 4 games, are punching above their weight class is an understatement. We're going to tell what they are made of immediately. But, folks, this has got the flavor of not just the playoff game, but a state championship game, because both of these teams will be playing into late December. These are 2 of the top teams in 4A, and we're the Bally's 4A state game of the week in the whole state of Texas for a reason.
Yeah, that's right. This Jeff Traylor called me right as I was walking into the stadium tonight, and he was asking about Chapel Hill. He's like, well, what do you think? Are they really that good? And I said, I was looking at them warming up, and I go, uh-huh. they look pretty good.
Yes.
They're a big physical football team. They've got a lot of speed. They're a bigger school than we are. They're Division I, we're Division II, as you said earlier in pregame. And so they've got a lot of talent here. You've got some returners on here. You've got some big boys. They've got a big defensive lineman that's going to TCU. And he's a senior, and he's an outside rusher, and he's going to put a lot of pressure on our very young, inexperienced quarterback that's only thrown 2 passes in a real varsity football game. So you're going to see Caden. He's doing a great job in practice. He looks good in the scrimmages, but this is the real deal now, and he's going to get his first test tonight.
Absolutely, Jeff. Back deep for the Buckeyes, number 17, Rowan Fluellen, all-world performer, and number 22, as they're going to kick short up to number 13. who will take that's Jeremiah Noble, the G-man, will set the Buckeyes up 1st and 10 from their own 37. That's good field position, Jeff. But we'll talk a little bit more about the backup running back, number 22, Will Henderson, Jeff, and he may very well be one of the fastest, if not the fastest, 16-year-old on the North American continent.
Yeah, and we're going to talk a lot about that this year. You're going to hear it a lot as he lines up in the backfield here with number 11, Tennyson. And you've heard that name for the last 3 years, Tennyson. Folks, I want to remind you, yeah, you're going to hear it 3 more years, but you're going to hear it a lot as younger brother's taking over. Handoff up the middle to number 9, Ashton Haynes. And Ashton's good for about maybe 4 yards on the carry.
And that is so critical, Jeff, that the Buckeyes, who are going to play fast, possess the ball and have positive plays on 1st down, especially to get this young quarterback and this young offensive line as well into a rhythm.
If you look out here on this side, closest to the camera, you see number 0, Aaron Bell. He's a move-in from Harmony. Little pitch back, number 17, Rowan Fleuron around the right side. And he got a flag on the play. So you see Aaron Bell out here. They've got him in a wideout. This guy is actually a fullback, and he is the biggest one we have ever had. And also plays some middle linebacker. He'll be starting a middle linebacker on defense, and he is just a lot of humanity, Todd.
We will wave off that flag, which is actually a good thing. That little end around to Rowan Fleuron, good tackle, is going to gain a yard and bring up 3rd and 5. Critical play right now here already for the Buckeyes. And let's see if they can pick up this 1st down in their own territory, possessing the ball, and more importantly, with 10 offensive starters coming back for Chapel Hill, who were 1 play away from the state championship appearance last year, keeping those guys on the sidelines.
All right, 3rd and a long 5. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. Nope, keeper around the right side, and the cornerback just does a great job of getting to Tennyson and knocking him down. That's going to bring up 4th and 5. That's a great defensive stand there by Chapel Hill. I talked to Coach Menzel earlier this week, and I said, man, you know, we haven't had a quarterback. We've had great quarterbacks, obviously, but we haven't had one that can run the way that Stump Godfrey did, Darian Godfrey did in a long time. We have one again. We've got a guy that can get around the corner and play physical football, and Coach said it best, he runs angry. And you're going to see him do that a lot this year. There'll be a lot of bootlegs, a lot of draws. As the Buckeyes force the punt, number 3, Amaro Arona gets the punt. They're going to get a bit of a return on the left side. Found a hole and getting big yards on the return all the way back out to the 38-yard line. So starting with good field position, the Bulldogs are going to start out their first offensive possession with 1st and 10 on their own 38.
Jeff, the 2 stars to look for are both sophomores. It's number 3, Demetrius Brisbane, that's the sophomore quarterback, and Ricky Stewart, number 4, who is the running back. They will go wide, and they will run Brisbane left, right. He's not much of a passer, Jeff, but he is very much a runner and an athlete. And let's see if the Buckeyes starting 1st and 10 here can get off the field.
Yeah, he's a Wildcat quarterback. He's going to pitch around the left side. They've got some good blocking set up around here. It's going to be good for positive yards. And looks like they're going to pick up maybe a couple as they get out to about the 41-yard line. We're going to call that a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs.
That's number 2, the speedster McGregor on the end around. They will do that a lot. And it's going to be weird for Chapel Hill because they've not seen this kind of speed. They think that they're the fastest guys in East Texas, but they really haven't seen guys like them dressed in white tonight.
The front 7 for the Buckeyes got a lot of speed and a lot of power. Quarterback draw, he's going to lose yardage, and he is back to the 35-yard line, so that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards.
That's big number 44, Braylon Ward, who is going to be the anchor of this defense, trailing in a fantastic take. And 3rd down and 13 now, Jeff. This is exactly where the Buckeyes want to be in terms of their coverage, because number 4, Brisbane, the athlete that he is, watch him to roll out to the wide side and try to throw on the run.
All right, here's the snap. He's dropping back, looking to pass, forced out of the pocket, throws one downfield wide open, and that is caught for the big 1st down on the 22-yard lines. Number 25, Jamar Bird on the coverage for the Buckeyes.
Just hits a big one, just chunks it down and over the head of Bird, who let the receiver get behind him and kind of snuck up. And that's one of those absolute critical mistakes that you can't make against a team that's this good. Young cornerback there, learned the lesson the hard way.
Yeah, playing his first game at cornerback, so he's probably a little nervous. Handoff up the middle to the running back, and he's going to get positive yards as he gets 3 or 4 positive yardage up the middle. And again, had them pinned back deep on 3rd down, and they come out and throw a 40-yarder and get right back in the game, and then really good, good field position.
For those of you accustomed to seeing Brandon Tennyson sit back there and throw 65 yards down the field, that's not what this quarterback Brisbane does. He's an athlete, Jeff. He's not a passer.
All right, fakes the handoff, looking to pass, got a completion on an out route to number 1, and he's thrown out of bounds by 0, Aaron Bell. And looks like they got right at the first down marker. They may have hit, no, they're going to be just shy. So that's going to bring up 3rd and less than 1 at the 14-yard line.
Really need a negative play here, Jeff. A turnover would be awesome, absolutely. But really need a negative play here because to hold Chapel Hill out of the end zone on their opening drive is critical.
All right, quarterback keeper around the left side, found the gap, and he gets the first down. I think everybody in the stadium knew where that play was going to go.
Yeah, right behind their big left tackle, Jeff, number 70, and number 57, who is all-world, as we talked about. That is some size that they are going to follow, and that just might as well be a dive play to bring up 1st and goal for Chapel Hill.
All right, here we're lining up in the shotgun, 1 running back in the background. They fumble the ball. It's a broken play, but the quarterback picks it up and gets all the way down to the 5-yard line. So they are just chipping away at it, getting closer and closer to the end zone. And the Buckeye defense is really needing to stand here. It's 2nd and goal from the 5.
7:44 left in the first quarter. The Buckeyes come out, lose the toss, and get a deferral to start the possession. They go 3 and out. And Chapel Hill, pinned back deep after the Buckeye punt, after a long pass, is now down
4 receivers wide right, handoff to the right side. Stringing them out long, touchdown, Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs strike first on a long pass and some blown coverage on about a 40-yarder downfield.
That was Ashton Haynes, who was the running back that was starting at outside linebacker on that play, Jeff. Just got sucked up inside a little bit, realized his mistake and tried to get back out. By the time the scraping linebacker hit, number 2 had scored. And Chapel Hill strikes first, 6-0. That game started exactly like they wanted so far, Jeff.
All right, folks, we're going to have illegal procedure. That'll back them up 5 yards. Folks, we want to apologize for a couple of things. One, we're sitting out in the crowd tonight, so there's going to be a lot more noise than you may be accustomed to. And number 2, we're having signal problems. We're kind of in a hole out here in this stadium. And we'll have a clean copy of the game posted tomorrow. And so you can rewatch whatever you missed, but we're going to be a little bit hit and miss tonight as we don't have a good signal. They don't have a good Wi-Fi signal here. The kick is up, and it is good.
And the kick is so 7-0 your score.
7-0.
7:38 left in the first quarter, Jeff. That drive was 6 runs for 17 yards. The Buckeyes doing a good job, but 1 pass for 47 made the difference. Let's see if the Buckeyes come back here and answer. We'll be right back after a word from our great sponsors.
Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams. Lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
All right, we're back here in Chapel Hill, Texas, just outside of Tyler, playing the Chapel Hill Bulldogs. They struck first. It is 7-0. They're going to do another high pooch kick, going to be fielded in the middle of the field by number 7, One man to beat. He's going to take it all the way to the house. That is number 2.
That is to Eric Tate, and that is the wrong
number 7.
The football team, Jeff.
They kicked a little short kick. Just a little pooch kick right down the middle. He was never touched.
No.
Right through the line and all the way down to the house. So just like that, the Buckeyes answer to the first score that Chapel Hill puts up and now have 6 points of their own on the board.
And let me quote Stump Godfrey, who is probably one of the, let's just put it this way, an expert when it comes to judging talent. And he told me flat out, he said, Todd, we've had 2 unbelievably talented Buckeyes in the past. One of them was a guy named Desmond Pollard who passed away way too early. But the other guy that is a shoe-in, as he says, to play for a long, long time, including on Sundays, is to Eric Tate. And you saw why on that return there for a touchdown.
All right, here's the extra point kick. It is up and it is good. So the Buckeyes say we'll answer your first score, 7-7. I like this matchup tonight. We got a good football game here with 2 really good football teams, and I like what I'm seeing out of the Buckeyes. Other than a blown pass play, they're doing quite well tonight defensively.
Well, and Jeff, let me tell you, I'm not that overly impressed so far with Chapel Hill. I think they think that they've got speed. I don't think that they realize that Gilmer's got the speed that they just saw from Eric Tate. Jeff, Gilmer's got 8 guys that run 4.6 or better on the 40, and 5 guys that run 4.4. And oh, by the way, the fastest 16-year-old maybe on the North American continent in Will Henderson.
Yeah, and that's not an exaggeration.
That's not exaggeration.
When you say that, people say you're using hyperbole.
No,
we're not.
That
When
fact.
we say literally he was maybe the fastest 15-year-old in America, we mean that literally.
And possibly on the planet, and that's no exaggeration.
He
Jeff,
got second last year at state. At the varsity
as a
state meet,
15-year-old,
as a
and ran a
15-year-old.
10.4 400 meters.
He's probably got 3 gold medals in front of him in the next
It's
sophomore,
insane.
junior, senior.
It is
This
insane.
kid runs a 10.4, and if you don't know the 100-meter, look it up.
It's fast.
Yeah, and I think this summer he was clocked on a laser at 10.3. So
Let's put it this way,
kid's
Jeff.
fast.
After this play, I'll fill you in on how fast that is.
All right, here's the kickoff. It's up, fielded. They're all
And
over
guess
him,
who?
dragging him
Number
down.
22, Will Henderson, who we just talked about, literally outran the kick to the tackling point and absolutely shut down any form of return. And Jeff, the fastest man right now is Tyreek Hill, who was with the Chiefs and just got traded to the Miami Dolphins. He's the fastest man in the NFL. You know what? His senior year in Douglas, Georgia, he ran in the 100?
10.4.
10.44. And as a 15-year-old, Will Henderson
Ran a 10.4.
Ran a 10.44.
Yeah.
The Tomahawk, Will Henderson.
Yeah.
I don't think that Chapel Hill is
Well,
used
he's
to that
by
kind
far
of
the
speed.
fastest man on the field, and you can say that pretty much every game this year.
Yeah, it's not even gonna be close.
He is going to be the fastest guy on the field. Will it matter? We're going to find out this year.
It mattered on that last play as he got
Yeah,
the tackle.
it did. Here's a handoff by Chapel Hill around the left side. Buckeyes are all over him. He turns the corner and should have been tackled for about a 5-yard loss as number 29 had him in the backfield. I thought he was going to bring him down. That was Alex Sims.
He did lose 3 yards on that play. The Buckeye black flag, seeing that, he lost 5 yards. So 2nd and 15. That is not where Chapel Hill wants to be. These young corners just have to keep these receivers in front of them, Jeff, because really rear back and chunk it deep is what Brisbane will do at the quarterback position. He's not a real passer. He will roll out and do run-pass option. But 2nd and 15 is exactly where this black flag wants to have Chapel Hill. More importantly, Jeff, these Buckeyes are realizing, you know what? Underdogs or not, we can play with these guys.
All right, here's the snap. Quarterback rolls to his left side, looking to pass. Throws
Intercepted!
one. Intercepted!
And look out,
He's
Jeff!
got one man lead.
Another touchdown!
It's Aaron Bell. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
No
They're
Bells.
going to say he got him on the 1.
Tackled at the 1-yard line, and just what I was saying, he cannot pass the football on 2nd
No, I
and
think he
15.
got him at the 5. That looked like the goal line to me, but it's not.
Your age is showing, Jeff.
Yeah, my
We've
age
got
is
a
showing.
terrible angle here with seeing over the heads, but that's going to be 1st and goal, and that is exactly where this young Buckeye team needs to be.
Aaron
629. Great play, number 0. We're seeing the
middle
number 0.
linebacker, number 0. You're going to hear that name a lot this year.
But
Aaron
he read
Bell.
that perfectly.
And a very nice young man to boot. They're going to pass right out of the bat, and it's going to be no gain. That pass was complete to number 17, Rowan Fluellen, who, by the way, only needs 7 more catches to to pass, I think, and become the #1 receiver in Gilmer history. He'll pass his brother Dylan.
Exactly. And we have got to figure out a way to put it in the end zone right here. Watch out for number 9.
All right, from the shotgun, high snap, handoff up the middle,
There he
touchdown. Number 9, Ashton Haynes, who had 25 touchdowns last year, which puts him in the top 5 of all time for Buckeyes. He's probably going to own the record after this year.
Yeah, he's special,
as a
Jeff.
senior,
Ashton is special. He came on the scene 2 years ago and really, as a sophomore, led the Buckeye team to a state championship appearance as a sophomore. But he may be one of the absolute best running back that we have had.
Not paying. We got some Buckeyes not paying attention down here, and so we had nearly had to call a timeout on an extra point kick. You don't want to do that. Here's the snap. The kick is up and good. So you got the first game jitters. We're gonna Buckeyes take the lead 14-0. We're gonna go to a commercial break. We'll be right back after these messages.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1880. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
All right, we are back to the action here in Chapel Hill. The Gilmer Buckeyes on an interception just scored again, so it is now 14-7 with 6:01 left to play in the first quarter as the Buckeyes looking really good tonight so far. It's going to be a fair catch called on the 28-yard line by the Bulldogs.
Number 12 was just looking up as
Thinking, hey,
number
where did
22
that
was
kid come
literally
from?
in his face. Will Henderson on kickoff coverage is just not fair. He's literally faster than gravity.
Yeah, he's a fast kid. So, folks, I want to apologize again. We're going to have sporadic reception tonight, so just stay with us. We're going to try to do the best we can, but we have a terrible signal. We're sitting out in the audience with the rest of the folks. And want to point out, too, stick around for halftime, as you're going to get an opportunity to meet the Buckeyes face-to-face. You're going to every Buckeye introducing themselves in their position, so watch for that at halftime after the band. Here's a snap up the middle, and he is fighting hard forward behind that big offensive line for positive yards, and it's a pretty good carry.
Yeah, this is what they really do. Get behind that big offensive tackle on the left-hand side. You notice that's how they picked up the first down and the touchdown earlier on with Brisbane running behind him. Number 2 and number 3, the 2 sophomores that are really kind of their future, Jeff, in terms of Chapel Hill. But 2nd and 4 is a much better place to be for Chapel Hill.
All right, here's snap, fumble. Fumble on the play, ball's loose. Quarterback picks it up, and he's dropped for a loss all the way back to the 10-yard line. That is about a 25-yard loss.
3rd and 25 is not where they want to be, Jeff. As you start to see Chapel Hill, who really was favored and really feeling like they were going to come into this game, Jeff, and kind of dirt roll the Buckeyes, has kind of backfired a little bit on them. As to Eric Tate, the speedster, comes back into play safety with Rowan Fluellen and number 25 out there for the Buckeyes at corner.
Again, folks, want to apologize for the sporadic signal that we have. Just hang in there with us. We're going to do the best we can, but we don't have a Wi-Fi connection here. We're using a cell signal, so it's going to be a rough night tonight.
Let's see if the Buckeyes get a stop here.
All right, Buckeyes got them pinned back on the 10-yard line. Here's the snap. They're looking to pass, looking downfield, launch one across the middle. Guess what? Intercepted, number 7, Eric Tate. Back to the 20-yard line, and that's the 2nd interception of the evening for the Buckeyes.
And Jeff, we talked about it. That is what Brisbane cannot do very well, is throw the football, and the Buckeyes have exploited that. That's 2 turnovers, Jeff. The Buckeyes set up 1st and 10 from the 30, 4:25 left, Jeff. 14-7, the Buckeyes lead already, knocking on the door once again.
All right, so far tonight, Buckeyes defensively looking really good.
From the
Only
20,
giving up
my bad,
really
from the
one
20.
significant play tonight. We got Ashton Haynes in the backfield. Here's the snap, drops back, looking to pass, screen. Number 9, Ashton Haynes up the middle.
Touchdown Buckeyes! One play!
And that is a touchdown, number 9 for the Buckeyes. And the Buckeyes commanding lead now, 20-7 with the extra point left to come. Only 4:24 left to play in the first quarter. And the Buckeyes, the Bulldogs are saying, hey, no, and the Buckeyes, or the Bulldogs rather, are you can't talk to them because you got a mic on. You gotta. I know it's the first game, but we gotta knock the rust off of this thing.
Extra point left to come. That touchdown was by Ashton Haynes.
All right, here's the snap. The kick is up and good, and just like that, folks, 4:24 left to play in the fourth quarter, and Buckeyes lead 21-7. Not at all what we expected, but we like it. We'll be right back.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. Yeah! He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen it.
We got a kickoff here for the Buckeyes, being returned up the middle.
Back to the 37, it's like deja vu, Jeff.
Yeah, they're starting over right about where they were earlier. The first possession, the first kickoff, they were at the 38. And so they're going to start at the 37. And so far tonight, the Bulldogs just not able to get anything going offensively other than the big, 46-yard pass that they had that led to a touchdown. Other than that, the Buckeyes defense, 2 interceptions, and it's just been shutting them down all night.
And what it leads to, Jeff, is simple. It's negative plays. You notice that play that caused it 3rd and 15, they run the end around, they get that for a loss. 2nd and 5 or 6 for both of these offenses is where they need to live. When it gets 2nd and 3rd and long, Chapel Hill's in trouble.
Yeah. So here's the snap, handoff up the middle, and he's got room to run, and he's going to get a first down or right at the first down marker. And I want to remind you folks, this is not a slouch team we're playing here tonight. This is a Division I school. We're a Division II. They're a Division I, which means they're a bigger school. And they're ranked 3rd or 4th in the state within Division I. So this is a, number 2 in Division II versus number 3 in Division I. So the Buckeyes looking really good so far in this game. With another bad snap. Ball is bouncing around. Quarterback picks it up. He's got a lot of room to run, though. He's going to make this into something, and this is why he is a great athlete. Number 17, Ro Flurellen's fingertip touches him, trips him up. Other than that, he might have taken that one all the way.
Ashton Haynes has got him dead to rights in the backfield, and he just juked Ashton right out of his shorts. Not something that you're normally going to see, but what a huge break for Chapel Hill, Jeff, because if Ashton makes that tackle, they're right back into 2nd and 16.
Well, that's what Brisbane does. That's why he's a Wildcat quarterback.
Right.
They're going to fake the handoff, quarterback keeper up the middle. Brisbane again, and he's going to be good for about 4 yards.
Gain of about 5.
Well, they feel the intensity right now, Jeff, as the Buckeyes up 14 points, 21-7. And Jeff, let me remind you what Joe Dodd said in the last 40 years. When the Buckeyes score 30 points, they win 95% of the time. We're 21 points, and we still got 3 minutes left in the first quarter.
All right. Chapel Hill sends 4 receivers to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. High snap. Quarterback has to run for his life. He's being pursued, and he's tackled. Number 29, shoestring tackle. That was Alex Sims.
Great play.
Caught him from behind.
Great play there. That was number 20, Jeff. I'm sorry, we misread
That's
that play.
29.
That was Castillo, and we've got a timeout.
Yeah, that's Alex Sims coming from this left side that pursued him. We got a timeout on the field, and we'll see what they're doing here. They're not sure what they're doing here. They're talking about the All right, they're just setting the ball. I'm not sure what they're doing here.
Huge 3rd and 5 right here, Jeff. The Buckeyes are going to have to hold them because this is definitely four down territory for the Chapel Hill Bulldogs.
Yeah, absolutely. 3rd and 5. There's 2:37 left to play in the first quarter. Chapel Hill sends 4 receivers right, handoff up the middle, and he breaks free and headed for the end zone. He's going to be drugged down right before the end zone. I think that was number 17, Rowan Llewellyn, and finally drug him down. But it is 1st and goal now for the Bulldogs, so Bulldogs looking good. And what's amazing is they're spreading everybody out. They got 4 receivers wide right, and they're running up the middle and actually making it work.
Yeah, well, they've proven they can't throw the ball, but right now, Jeff, you've got a Wildcat quarterback in number 8, so Brisbane is not in the game. This is their backup quarterback that is more of a passer.
All right, handoff again up the middle, headed for the end zone, and he's going to be really close. Going to be at the foot line. I mean, he is literally at the goal line. So this next carry is going to be Brisbane. He's going to run to the left side over that big left tackle. More than likely, they may hand it off.
Number 8, a new quarterback in the game. That was the quarterback last year. That's Griffin. He's a senior, Jeff. He's more of their passing quarterback.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. It's a fumble, and they fall forward back to the line of scrimmage. Maybe lost about a foot.
That's going to be
Buckeyes
3rd and
defense
goal.
doing a good job clogging it up. That big number 44, Braylon Ward, is going to be one of the best nose guards in East Texas this year. He just filled that gap. He's a lot of humanity. Wouldn't it be something if the Buckeyes could make a stand on the 1 foot line?
All we need, Jeff, is a bad snap or some kind of emotion or a negative play.
Yeah, it's 3rd. Yeah, they've had trouble snapping the ball tonight. The Bulldogs have. And it's 3rd and goal. We've seen the Buckeyes last year do this several times where they make goal line stances.
That's right.
They got put in the meat package, all the big boys, and they have stopped them. I've seen them stop them 3 or 4 times.
This is straight to Brisbane. And we got a timeout, Jeff, as Chapel Hill takes their timeout. 50 seconds left in the first quarter. 3rd down and goal from the 1 for Chapel Hill. Buckeyes lead 21-7 at the moment. We'll be right back.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Goddard & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Goddard & Young.
Okay, we are back to the action here in Chapel Hill, Texas, as the Bulldogs take a timeout because they know how important it is. They're down 21-7 with 50 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It is 3rd and goal from the 1 foot line. And the Buckeyes are looking here to try to make a huge defensive stance. The crowds are on their feet on both sides of the stadium, making a lot of noise. They want to see a stop, and the Bulldogs want to see a score. They got 2 backs in the backfield now. Number 1 goes up the middle, and he's going to score. So that is a score by the Bulldogs on basically a broken play, a snap over the head of the quarterback, Brisbane, and he just picks it up and runs 50 yards with it. I mean, you know, that's what he does.
That's what he does, and you can tell the athlete that he is. But Jeff, that's not necessarily a bad thing. The Buckeyes still in a great position up a score here early. Remember, they folded that score in terms of getting the possession in the beginning of the second half.
Yeah,
so we need to be
good.
up a score. Kick is good, 21-14 with 44 seconds left. And it's been the special teams play and the defense that's kept the Buckeyes in it. We'll see if they can continue after these messages.
Extra, extra. Read all about tonight's game in Thursday's Gilmer Mirror, complete with pictures, coaches' comments, and a look at next week's opponent. The Gilmer Mirror has been serving the citizens of Upshur County since 1877. You know, reading the news online is fine, but there is nothing like physically picking up your hometown paper, turning the pages, and catching up on everything going on in our area. If you're not subscribing to the Gilmer Mirror, you're probably missing out. It's one of my favorite publications, and I know you'll love it too. The Gilmer Mirror, www.gilmermirror.com. All right, we're back in Chapel Hill as the Bulldogs just scored with 44 seconds left to play in the first quarter. It's now 21-14 with 44 seconds in the first, and we've got a good game here. The Buckeyes are battling, looking really good, but Bulldogs say, hey, we're not going anywhere either. We're also ranked top of the state in our division. This time they're going to kick it a little deeper. They're going to be fielded on the 24-yard line. Roe Fluellen down the left side. Roe ducks his head, gets good return out to the 43-yard line. So the Buckeyes are going to take over with excellent field position. 1st and 10 from the 43.
Good return by Roe and the Buckeyes. Now this is only the third play of the quarter, Jeff. That comes with 44 seconds left, and this is the third offensive play that they've run since that first 3 and out when they took possession. Let's see if they've got a little confidence going here, and they need to go score right here.
Buckeyes send 2 receivers right to left. Handoff around the right side, number 22, Will Henderson. They're closing in on him fast, and he is forced out of bounds. They saw that coming, and even as fast as Will Henderson is, man, did they skedaddle over there to that left side, because they don't want to get Will Henderson around the left side. That's one thing their coaches have been telling them all week. Do not let him outside, because you're going to be looking at the back of him.
That's exactly right. Will, the backup running back, and I thought Will turned the corner, evidently stepped out of bounds, but 2nd and 11, and Jeff, this is where the Buckeye offense does not want to be, 2nd and long. It's those negative plays that affect both these offenses.
2 receivers left, 1 right, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. I think that was Henderson. And his positive yards are going to get him up to about the 45-yard line, so that's going to be a gain of about 4 yards.
That'll bring up 3rd down.
So that's going to be 3rd and 7.
For the Buckeyes.
Now, one thing I can say, Jeff, is don't trust what you're hearing from the announcer. He's worse of a homer for Chapel Hill than we are for Gilmer. So.
And that's saying something.
That's saying something. But a huge 3rd down and about 7 right now for the Buckeyes. We've got to figure out a way.
All right, 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. In the backfield by himself, and we got a timeout maybe on the play. No, into the first quarter. So it's into the first quarter. Great game, 21-14. Gilmer leads the Bulldogs. We'll be right back.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
Back to the action here.
To the action here in Chapel Hill, where the Gilmer Buckeyes lead the Chapel Hill Bulldogs 21-14, and we're beginning the second quarter. Buckeyes have the ball on their own 45-yard line and trying to get something going against this Bulldog defense.
Let's call it 3rd and 7. Jeff, and we got Will Henderson, the speedster, back there at the running back position, along with Eric Tate out here on the outside. And let's see what the Buckeyes decide to do here.
All right, they're going to send 3 receivers wide to the left, 2 to the right. Empty backfield. Tennyson's by himself, drops back, forced out of the pocket, and this is going to be, he falls forward to gain maybe a yard or 2, but he's slung down. That's just a great job. You know, I actually told Alan Metzel this year, I said, you know what my favorite play is going to be this year? He said, what's that? And I said, balloon pass plays where Caden has to run.
Well, they brought the farm on that one and caught up with Caden. He read it. He just read it one step too late. Otherwise, he may still be running. But Chapel Hill, with the first play of the second quarter, comes out and does what they need to do. They get a stop. And the dangerous number 2 back deep for Chapel Hill. Let's see if we punt it to him.
All right, number 3, Arona in the punt. And he's got a high punt. I don't think it's going to go very far. And it takes a Bulldog bounce. Touch it. The Buckeyes are are dodging it as though they were letting it roll, and it was actually rolling backwards.
So the black flag that's played a lot of snaps, Jeff, here early in this football game on 1st and 10, now protecting a 7-point lead. And remember, Chapel Hill won the toss and deferred, so they are back on serve here, down to 1 score. And it's going to be up to the black flag here to figure out another way to make a play. Some of the negative plays that Chapel Hill had earlier were self-inflicted, and we'll take every advantage that we can get.
All right, they stacking everybody out. 4 receivers wide right, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. He fumbles the snap. The ball is on the ground. Number 3 picks it up, and he's in trouble. He's going to lose big yards on that one. He's all the way back to about the 28-yard line.
Negative play, Jeff. Just what we talked about is first game jitters, really jumping up and biting Brisbane.
It's going to be 2nd and 24.
Kind of hanging his head there at the quarterback position.
Yeah, he's had trouble kind of hanging onto the ball tonight. He leaves before the ball gets to his hands.
Yeah.
And they've had some snapping, problems, and then they've also had some just ball handling problems.
And 2 interception problems.
Yeah. All right, they got 3 receivers wide to the left. Here's the snap. Brisbane drops back deep, looking to throw. Launches one down the middle. Nice pass.
Row.
Interception.
Row for Rowan.
Number 17, Rowan Fluell, and that's the 3rd interception for the Buckeyes. And that is a perfectly defended ball. Goes to the high point of the ball, gets in front of the receiver, and that is exactly what it's supposed to look like. That's why he'll be playing on Saturdays at TCU.
Maybe Sundays after that. Rowe is that talented. Jeff, this is what's important about that. That's the 3rd interception. That's Brisbane's thrown 5 passes, 3 of them have been interceptions. One of them's been for a big play. If the Buckeyes can force Chapel Hill to be one-dimensional and go away from the pass completely, then they're going to have problems beating these Buckeyes. Let's see if we can cash this in right now as the 3rd interception of the game.
I got a man in motion. They're handing it off to number 7 around the right side. Not a lot there. That's Tate.
To the right side.
And Tate coming a long way, all the way from the other side of the field around the right side. And I think they just sniffed that one out.
3 on the play.
Yeah, the gain of 3, which is 5 yards. So we'll take 2nd and 6, Jeff, all day long and twice on Sunday from this Buckeye offense, who is happy to possess the ball and let the clock run as they march down the field.
All right, Tennyson. I'm glad I didn't have to learn a new quarterback name.
Exactly.
For 6 years, I'm
Same
going to get to say the
same
number.
name.
Yeah, same everything. Here's the snap, handoff, up the middle. Look at this. Number 9 spinning, juking. He's headed to the house. Can anybody catch him? It looks like they might catch him at the goal line. Touchdown! No, the referee's going to say he was out at the 1-foot line, which is baloney. He hit the pylon.
But it's
what a great run by Ashton Haynes.
Fantastic as he puts the spin move on and takes that one. That is a 67-yard scamper by the All-Stater Ashton Haynes, who turns the tables in a heartbeat, and the Buckeyes are right back on the goal line with 10 minutes left here in the second half, or in the first half.
All right, Will Henderson in as the ball carrier. He's the running back. They're going to hand it off to Will, and that is going to be, nope, they're going to trip him up before he gets in there. And so they're trying to get Will his first varsity score here.
That's not a bad thing, Jeff. For us to sniff around at the goal line for a couple of downs and run a minute or 2 off this clock and limit the possessions of that talented 1-2 punch, both the sophomores over there on the other side, is not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all, Jeff. I mean, I want to stick it in the end zone, don't get me wrong, but this is not a bad situation for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, you're looking at 2 sophomores in the backfield right now. And it's a blown play, and it's a touchdown, but it's going to be coming back as there were movement. We had 2 Buckeyes in motion, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, this is those negative plays that we talked about that affect both offenses. And right now, the Buckeyes haven't had a lot of opportunities, but they're going to move back 5 on this one.
Yeah, it'll be a repeat 2nd down. It's going to back them up 5 yards, so it's going to put them just around the 6.
Give them a little more room, so 2nd and goal from the 6. up 7, and it is imperative, Jeff, that the Buckeyes find a way to put it in the end zone right here. Take advantage of the opportunities and not let that illegal procedure penalty get in the way.
All right, let's see what the Buckeyes are going to do here. They've been backed up 5 yards. 2 receivers wide to the left, 1 to the right. And they got Will Henderson in the backfield. Here's the snap. Hand off to Henderson. He is bouncing around, trying to get in there. He's going to get back to about the original line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and we'll call it 3rd and 1.
Henderson up the middle, gets back to the original line of scrimmage.
Or 3rd and goal from the 1. So they're right back to where they were, except it's 3rd down. So they got
really
2 tries to get in there.
Yeah, we really need to score right here.
And we're back for those of you that have stuck around. And I apologize because we're losing signal here. We're in a hole and we're on cell signal tonight. We don't have a Wi-Fi connection in this little bitty stadium over in Chapel Hill. Somebody needs to take up a collection and get these guys some Wi-Fi. Here's the snap. Got a little bit of a blown play, but number 11 is going to take it in for the touchdown. That will be his 2nd varsity touchdown. The first of many for this year, I assure you.
And
that
for
was,
years to come.
That was Caden Tennyson, the quarterback, number 11.
And Jeff, we took 1 minute and 45 seconds off the clock down there on the goal line, still wind up scoring after that fantastic run by Ashton Haynes. That is a fantastic job that the Buckeye offense does to take that 67 yards, most of that on Ashton's run. But once again, stretching this score back out to his 2-score lead with the extra point left to come.
All right, here's the snap. Kick is up, it's good. So 8:16 left to play in the second quarter. Buckeyes 28, Bulldogs 14. And we're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
All right, we are back in Chapel Hill, and the Buckeyes have just scored again. It is 28-14 with 8:16 left to play in the second quarter. Buckeyes set to kick off. And the Buckeyes looking really good tonight on both sides of the ball.
Both sides of the ball. What a run by Ashton Haynes to trigger that as the All-Stater gets loose. And again, Chapel Hill coming into this game just didn't think that Gilmer was going to be Gilmer. All the buzz, they're favored. They find themselves down 2 scores and really a lot of pressure on them. But more importantly, Jeff, they've been exposed now on their passing game. They're a one-dimensional running team. And with the Buckeye coaching staff being able to make adjustments to that, let's see if Chapel Hill's good enough.
We got a high kickoff going to be fielded on the 28-yard line. Number 0 for Chapel Hill. He goes up the middle and gets smacked by number 3, Amaro Arona. Hit him right in the mouth, and I'm going to tell you something. You're going to hear me say that about 100 times this year. Smacked in the mouth by Arona, because that's exactly what he does. He is a tough kid.
He plays about 70 pounds heavier than he actually is.
He is just the nicest kid you ever met till you put a helmet on him. and then he's just ornery, just flat ornery. And I mean, he is a football player, let me tell you. You're going to hear his name maybe more than anybody on the defensive side of the ball this year. He'll probably lead the team in tackles, number 3. Just remember that. 2 receivers left, 2 right, 1 back in the backfield for the Bulldogs. Handoff up the middle. He's got a big gap. Running. Bounces off 1 tackle and finally drugged down from behind by number 13 for the Buckeyes, and that is Noble, Jeremiah Noble. So that was a big run there, big gain all the way across midfield to the Buckeye 47-yard line.
That's number 4, Jeff, for Chapel Hill. He is big and he runs the ball unbelievably hard. That is Stewart for Chapel Hill.
All right, here's the snap. Fakes the handoff. Quarterback keeper up the middle. Not much there. Buckeyes are on it. Looks like number 20 wrapped him up on that play. That was Elise Castillo.
It's going to bring up 2nd and 8, Jeff. And this is one of those long downs where Chapel Hill needs to go back and gain positive yardage, because if in 2nd and long, they just have a hard time.
I believe that was Elias. Not seeing that spelling. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left, 2 to the left. Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper up the middle, running behind his blocker, bounces to the right side, got room to run, flags everywhere, and he takes it all the way down to about the 10, but that's going to come back for holding, and the Buckeyes are catching a break there, as that's probably going to be a holding penalty against the Bulldogs.
So I guess you enter the play and then hit nullify play.
But that was a great run there, again, by Brisbane. We talked about it.
Yeah,
And,
right up the middle.
Right up the gut. He is going to be a real asset for this team this year with his legs.
And that's a personal foul, blocked below the waist. That's a 15-yarder, Jeff. So 2nd and 8 is going to turn into 2nd and 18
Well, that's
at
a
the very
spot
least.
penalty.
We'll see.
So they're going to back that up to the 50-yard line. So the net loss is
2nd and
about
14.
3 yards from the spot of the foul.
Huge break there.
Okay.
As Eric
is holding our Wi-Fi device or our cell
Eric
device
is the
tonight.
absolute soldier in the army of Buckeyes.
He
What
is
he
filming,
does for
running
us.
commercials, producing, and holding
He
up
is
the
man.
cell tower. He's our cell tower tonight. All right, here's the snap. High snap. Number 3, keeper up the middle again. And this time Buckeyes all over him. Looks like the first one there that grabbed him by the feet.
Remember this down,
was
Jeff.
number 2, and that is KJ, Kendall Jackson.
Remember this down, Jeff. 3rd down and 10 with 7 minutes left in the second half, or in the first half, second quarter.
Well, they're going to put it in the air here, so
exactly.
look for a
And
possible
remember,
interception.
What is the things that have happened when they do put it in the air?
What is it, 3 times?
3 interceptions.
3 interceptions
I don't
tonight.
think they're going to throw it. I think they try to do something different here. And if it leads to another turnover, then Chapel Hill really puts themselves in a hole.
All right, here comes the snap. High snap. They are going to throw it. They drop back. Quarterback running for his life. He's going to have to run. Spins out of a would-be tackle, and he is a good runner, man. He is really, look at him. Should have already been down 5 yards ago, and finally drugged down by a host of Buckeyes. But he gets down close to that first down marker again on a broken play. I think that might be a play in their playbook. Hey, broken play.
He's coming out of the game now because he was injured on that play, Jeff.
Yeah, he got a little stinger there. He'll be fine. He's walking off on his own. But he'll be back in here shortly. So they're going to bring in their backup quarterback, probably number 1 or number 8.
Number 8.
And they're going to try to get this play in here as they've got a little confusion. They're not going to go to huddle. And it is 4th and short. They're going to go for it. They hand off to big number 4, and it's going to be close, but I think the Buckeyes drug him down. You had number 20 there, and looks like number 30. Number 20, of course, was Castillo, and number 30 is Holyfield. And those two boys got in there.
Buckeye football.
And Buckeye football. What a great job there by those two young men.
Huge play, Jeff. Yeah.
The last game I saw the Buckeyes look this good in a first game was in Kilgore, Texas, about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And I mean,
and that was
just
the
looking
state
good.
championship.
Yeah, do you remember that?
Yeah.
You know the game I'm talking
Yeah,
about
I know
in Kilgore?
exactly which one that was.
That's the one where Poppy, first game, and he threw like 500 yards.
Yeah.
It was like his first game at quarterback, and he threw a record. Remember that?
I do. Broke the school record, which
Yeah.
he couldn't even believe he did.
Yeah, it was an amazing night, and this one looks a lot like it. Now, there's a lot of football left to play. We're only 2 scores ahead, so we don't want to count our chickens before we hatch, but so far the Buckeyes look really good. Here's the snap. Pitch, inside pitch, to number 15 up the middle. It's going to be positive yards. Number 15 is Brennan Webb for the Buckeyes. And that was just a little quick pitch underneath.
Pick up 3 yards on that. It's a nice little design play. 5:31 left. Buckeyes up 2 scores, looking to run the clock out and go put another one on the board.
2 receivers wide right, 1 left. High snap, pulls it down nice. Handoff up the middle, look at that. Weaving easily for the first down. I believe that was Will Henderson.
He moves so fast, Jeff. It's just absolutely ridiculous. He gets a crease and you can just kiss it goodbye. His explosiveness is off the charts. I wouldn't know what it's like
and
to
the
move
thing
that
is, when you
fast.
look at Will, He's just a skinny kid.
Yeah, but
I mean,
he
he just turned 16. He's a skinny kid, but man, he can flat fly. It's going to be a fun year to watch him. 3 receivers left, 1 right, 1 back. Dropping back, passing an out route.
Nice play to Tarek Tate.
Tate, number 7, gets the out route and about 6 yards.
That is where the
2nd and 4.
Buckeyes want to be, Jeff. Bringing up 2nd and 4, under 5 minutes. We stop the clock till Eric goes out of bounds. KJ comes out of the game at the fullback position, leaves in Will. And
4:55 left to play in the half. 28-14, Buckeyes lead. Buckeyes with the ball. 2nd and 4. Handoff up the middle. Will kind of waiting around a little bit on it. He's got to hit that hole a little faster. He gets back just past the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3.5. And Buckeyes need to convert here to keep the clock going, run out the half, obviously. And so this is 2-down territory, no question.
Absolutely,
with
Jeff.
The score and the time on the clock.
And this is not the starters that are in right now. This is kind of the secondary receivers that.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff. Nope, fakes the handoff, dumps it for a 1st down.
Nice
Across the
play.
middle, nicely thrown ball. Caden looked very comfortable in the pocket. That ball was complete to number 15 once again. And that was Brennan Webb. Nice catch, nice pass. Caden looked really comfortable. He didn't look panicked in the backfield. He took his time, really looked like his brother.
He does.
And I'm not going to say that a lot, by the way. He's his own man.
Yeah.
But
Hey, the more he resembles BT,
yeah,
the
that's
better
a
off
good
we
thing.
are.
Yeah. 1 receiver left, 2 right, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Passing again. Launches one to the end zone to number 7. Touchdown, Buckeyes. Touchdown, number 7, Tate. And what a well-thrown ball. What a well-thrown ball. That was just
That didn't look
poised.
like BT.
He laid it up, put it in the perfect spot. Tate
Eric
goes
went and
up
got
and got it. That's the kind of receiver I like to watch. Is somebody that'll go up and fight for the ball. What a well-thrown ball by number 11, Tennyson, and Caden Tennyson.
And Jeff, we just crossed over the 30-point mark with 3:59 left in this first half. The Buckeyes in the last 40 years have won 95% of their games
over 30
when they score over 30 points. So
let's hope we can continue that. 3:59, folks, left to play in the first half. The Gilmer Buckeyes lead 35-14. We'll be right back after these messages from our sponsor.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna be okay.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
To another day. It's gonna be alright.
Rowdy Creek Ranch, located on Highway 300 between Gilmer and Longview, is your destination for a world-class escape. With everything from dinner and wine tastings to weekend retreats in our unique and luxurious glamping park, Rowdy Creek is a little piece of heaven right in our own backyard. Corporate events, reunion gatherings, weekend getaways, and even dinner with live music are all on offer at Rowdy Creek Ranch.
All right, brings back. All right, here's the kickoff for the Buckeyes. It's going to be fielded around the 21-yard line, returned to the right side, and tripped up at the 30-yard line. They're going to spot it on the 31. So Bulldogs with 3:53 left in this first half are going to try to fight and get back in this game. The only thing that's been working for them so far is the quarterback draw.
That's right.
Or a broken pass play where the quarterback runs.
Which is the quarterback draw.
Quarterback draw.
Jaden Edmond in on that tackle, the junior, tackling number 1, the speedster for Chapel Hill. But he's no Will Henderson, but he's not slow. And 3:53, Jeff, this is a critical time. Remember, Chapel Hill gets the ball to start the second half. They're down 21 points now. But if they score here before the half and then score again coming out, we got a brand new ball game.
Now, we did make that extra point a while ago because, the scoreboard reflects 34.
Yeah, it's 35.
But I think it's 35. They'll get caught up on that, surely. All right. Chapel Hill sends a man in motion. They fake the handoff. They want to pass, and they dump it off and got a man open. And it's a fast number 1. He gets 15 yards and a first down, close to midfield, all the way out to the 46-yard line. That was just a great play.
Yeah, that was a nicely designed play.
And that number 1's got some wheels.
Yeah, he can run. He is their speedster. If you want to compare him to a Will Henderson, he's their version. Not quite as fast, but you can see that he can move.
All right, here's a snap. Handoff up the middle, behind the back. He runs into a wall, but gains maybe, we'll call it 4 yards on the carry. It's not a bad carry. 2nd and 6.
We're going to tick down into 3 minutes in this first half.
I tell you, I wish we were this close to the field, Todd, in every game. I would love to sit out here every
Would be
game.
great.
You can see the
We'd have to have
markers,
this
we
tent
can
to-
see the numbers. You know, our age, man, it's getting harder
We
when
need
they
to
put
be
us up
close.
at, yeah. All right, here's the Bulldogs, 2nd and 6. 3:02 left to play in the first half. Here's the snap. He's dropping back, looking to pass, throws an out route. It's complete. Really close to the first down marker. They're going to move the chains. Yep, first down, Bulldogs. They've had a little success tonight with that out route. They've got 3 of those, I think, completed so far.
And we'll give that up to protect that deep
Yeah, they're trying to protect deep.
Suck you in deep.
You got 2:45 left to play in the first half. Buckeyes want to hold, obviously, here. Go in at 35-14. And here comes the snap. It's a high snap. Fumble again. Picks it up, and he's running for it. And he turns something out of nothing every time. He gained, I think they didn't see it, and his knee probably went down there as he knelt. I can't tell for sure if it did, but it looked like it did as he was picking it up. But he actually got 8 yards where he literally should have been a loss of 10.
Yeah,
I mean, this guy is just got some
he's
legs.
electric. We stood and watched instead of just tackling him ball or no ball, because if he picks the ball up, he's dangerous, Jeff.
Yeah, handoff up the middle, running back, and he's going to be tackled immediately at the line of scrimmage by number 3, Amara Orona, who loses his helmet and will have to come out for one play. And so they're looking at 3rd and about 3rd and 1. 3rd and 1, and 1:46 left to play.
And probably 4 down territory, Jeff. So we really need them with 1:40 and the clock moving to have another one of those negative plays and figure out a way to get us the ball back. This is one we got to keep them out of the end zone.
Well, they've had at least 6 fumbles so far, I think, tonight. And they're letting the clock run for some reason. It's down to 1:25, and they're just kind of taking their time calling the play in. Not sure what strategy that might be. 3 receivers left, 1 to right. Quarterback up the middle, and he is met by Buckeyes immediately, but he probably got the first down.
Yeah. It's no secret. They're going to let number 3 just run the football. I mean, we almost ought to just forget about trying to get penetration and just wait for him at the line of scrimmage, because he's coming.
Yeah, that's definitely their bread and butter, is just let the quarterback run. Let him do what he does.
Now it's all about protecting the end zone this last minute of the half. They're letting the clock run, Jeff. Yeah, they want to keep the ball away from us, but they better score some points fast.
Yeah, I don't know what the strategy is. They look like they're confident in throwing the ball, and they're not that good at it. So I'm not sure. It's a high snap. Drop back, look at the pass. He's going for the end zone. Number 4 on the coverage and knocks it away, and it's clean. And that is Cade Bowman on the great coverage. Cade Bowman on the coverage there. And no flags that I see anywhere on the field. Of course, the Bulldog side's booing. They wanted a flag on that, but he looked clean to me. Got his hand up at the last minute.
Yeah, he didn't turn and look for the ball, but he did defend that pass. As when he went up and got the ball, he just knocked it out of his hands. But brings up 2nd and 10, and they're going to have to take their shots at the end zone.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
all they
We
got
just gotta
now.
tackle.
Yeah, because they got 35 seconds left. They're gonna go at the end zone 3 more times, guarantee it. Dropping back, heavy pressure. Got a flag on the play. Intercepted. Number 17.
We will decline that penalty. That was a hold, obviously, but Ralph Llewellyn, with the 4th interception of the game, is going to give the Buckeyes 27 seconds to try to do something here. Now watch out, Jeff, because the speed of the Buckeyes and the arm of Caden Tennyson is going to get unleashed right here unless Coach Metzel decides to play things safe.
He may. I bet he just wouldn't surprise me if he just says, "We're going in healthy and safe. You only got 27 seconds left. They're going to run the ball." I think.
2 timeouts. They still have not corrected the score, Jeff, by the way, which is 35-14.
Believe me, there's about 1,000 people on this side that are just keeping up with that, Todd. I assure you, it won't be a factor in the game because regardless of what the scoreboard says, they're going to take a knee and be happy with 35-14. They're going to go in the locker room, probably surprised, probably pleasantly surprised. And I don't know who's running the scoreboard here, but
they're shocked.
Yeah.
As the Buckeyes take a 35-14 lead, 21-point gash at halftime, Jeff.
And let me tell you, Todd, at halftime, folks, I know a lot of times you may go get refreshments, but we're going to do something special from now on at halftime. First of all, we're going to show you our band. The band's here. They're going to march. They're not in full uniform because it's too hot, but they're going to march for us tonight. And then right after that, you're going to get the first opportunity to see the Meet the Buckeyes, where all the Buckeyes in uniform introduce themselves and what position they play and what grade they are. And so make sure you stick around after the band, as we'll be playing that. It's about a 6-minute long video. And as a bonus, you get to see all the coaches if you want to see them face to face.
And Jeff, this is the first rendition of the Juicy's halftime show. Believe it or not, the Gilmer trade area.
Excited.
We are so thrilled that Juicy's is coming to Gilmer.
I'm so
folks.
fired up.
Hey, let me tell you, I've been
out there yelling at the construction crew every day, throwing rocks at them.
Cheerleaders.
I've been throwing rocks at them every day. Hurry up!
All I can tell you is that we drive to Longview to eat at Juicy's 2-3 times a week anyway. But for this white guy that's 50 plus years old, as you are too, trying to keep their weight down, this is going to completely blow it for me.
Yeah, this is not going to be good.
It's not going to
be good. But it's going to be great, actually, but not good for our waistline, probably.
Well, we are
which
so
is already
grateful.
Suffering greatly.
Appreciate Juicy's and their halftime sponsorship, and we will be running their commercials at halftime as well. So hurry up, guys, and get the Juicy's completed in Gilmer because we're hungry.
Yeah, and then and you'll look and see. You'll notice when you see the coaches introduce themselves tonight that I'm so thrilled that they're such good coaches because they'll never make it in television.
They're terrible.
If you watch this at halftime, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
It is absolutely terrible.
It's a train wreck, but a great one because I love these guys.
Jeff, we've only run 17 plays of offense, and we've got 35 points. Or they've run 34 plays, and we've got 35 points, 1 point more. As we look at the sweepstakes winning Gilmer Buckeye Band, brought to you by Juicy's.
Ladies and gentlemen, Officer show left to right are Melody Aguilar Jr., Cynthia Laura Jr., Amy Nixon Jr., Anna E. Guerrero Sr., and Leila Thompson Sr.
Kurt said he thinks they missed it.
Tell us what happened on that interception near the goal line.
The star of the week is Miss Emma Cormier. The Stars perform a palm routine to Elton John's Crocodile Rock. attention on your feet as the Stars kick to the Gilmer Buckeye fight song.
It is a drive. It starts a new drive. I bet that's it. And then you can play. Because the turnover then starts a new drive. I told you every simulation. First one was it? All right, so it's drive. After the interception, when we went down like at the 1 or 2 yard line. The next play, we didn't score. No, Ashton scored the touchdown, but it was on the second play. Yeah. The first play, what was Rowe caught the screen and got dropped. No doubt. Rowe, no doubt. So at the 2, I guess. Yeah. Did the 2 to 4. Was it the 5 yard line where they were down? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Gilmer Independent School District is proud to present one of the most decorated military marching bands in Texas, the pride of Upshur County, the UIL Sweepstakes Award-winning Gilmer Buckeye Band. And now we feature the GHS Majorettes as they perform a dazzling routine to Back in Black.
Okay, now, you can say this. You realize that Houston State player Then we had a run. It was run by Haynes for 5 or something.
Like 3 months. Huh? No, he's from Utah. You ask him where he's from, he thinks it's funny because we all make fun of him.
The Buckeye Band marches in the traditional American military style. Under the field command of drum majors Esmeralda Rambo and Mia Stowe, the band steps off to Eroica Fanfare by Larry Ward and Chicago World's Fair March by Carl Mader.
He served his mission in Ukraine. No, he said he'll be really close to Jake's mission. So when I told him, yeah, he said, yeah, I guess. She says it is. They both say it's serious. How many more years is she? She's going into her junior year. Yeah. Did you tell her you were kids for 2 years? No. She said, I've already been pulling my checks. I was trying to find a picture.
Braden Rash, senior, number 26, running back, linebacker.
Mike Colbert, senior, number 6, outside linebacker, running back.
Connor Dunn, senior, number 40, D-line.
Asher Haynes, senior, number 9, running back and outside linebacker.
Dylan Henson, senior, number 27, linebacker.
Braden Seymour, senior, number 77, center.
Chris Guillen, senior, number 19, QB.
Sergio, senior, number 60, O-line, D-line.
Zach Easley, number 12, senior, DB.
Braylon Ward, senior, number 44, D-line, tight end.
Ron Llewellyn, senior, number 17, receiver and safety.
Tyson Wilson, senior, number 1, strong safety.
Kendall Jackson, senior, number 2, linebacker.
Omero Rona, senior, number 3, outside linebacker and fullback.
My name is Cade Bowman. I'm a senior, number 4, receiver and corner.
Seth Jordan, senior, number 5, D-line.
Kevion Brinkley, senior, 24, running back, outside linebacker.
Dustin Morrow, senior, number 32, D-line.
Tay Webb, senior, 33, D-line receiver.
Davey Branscombe, senior, 34, fullback and defensive lineman.
Landon Manning, senior, 72, offensive line.
Javarian Martin, senior, number 54, O-line, D-line.
Elizabeth Posada, senior, number 70, O-line, D-line.
Stone Bates, senior, 46, outside linebacker.
Jose Govea, senior, 84, kicker.
Aaron Bell, junior, number 0, middle linebacker and fullback.
Nathan Arias, junior, number 71, D-line.
Jaden Edmond, junior, number 18, quarterback.
Demarion Hackett, junior, number 21, inside receiver and corner.
Harrison Lofton, junior, number 16, quarterback, outside linebacker.
Cameron Brown, junior, number 50, D-line.
Cassie Mahoney, junior, number 68, O-line, D-line.
Terry Tate, junior, number 7, wide receiver and safety.
Jerem Pilcher, junior, number 78, center.
Elias Castillo, junior, number 20, inside linebacker and fullback.
Connor Dodd, junior, number 14, wide receiver and safety.
Jamar Bird, junior, number 25, receiver and corner.
Dervay Smith, junior, 43, running back and outside linebacker.
Justin Jones, junior, number 47, outside receiver and outside linebacker.
Nick Zamaron, junior, 31, fullback and linebacker.
Riley Barnes, junior, number 64, O-line, D-line.
Leno Diaz, junior, number 37, fullback, middle linebacker.
Alex Isaida, junior, number 38, inside linebacker, fullback.
Kobe Webb, junior, number 45, receiver and corner.
Luke Holyfield, junior, 30, D-line, fullback.
Andrew Davis, junior, number 83, wide receiver, D-line.
Sean Wallace, junior, 55, offense line, defense line.
Bentley Schreiner, junior, number 41, receiver and corner.
Jeremiah Noble, sophomore, number 13, wide receiver, outside linebacker.
Lucas Cano, sophomore, number 75, O-line, D-line.
Brenner Webb, sophomore, 15,
receiver, free safety.
Alex Sims, sophomore, number 29, outside linebacker, running back.
Cadence Henderson, sophomore, 11, quarterback.
Coach Kerry Lane, I coach quarterbacks.
Coach Clay Causey, inside receivers, inside linebackers, Bruce Junior High.
Coach Brody Lipsy, offensive coordinator.
Coach Markeithel and Tate, running backs.
Coach Blevin Burns, coaching the junior high fullbacks and outside linebackers and running backs.
Max Lowe, coach offense, defensive line at the junior high.
Steve York, assistant athletic director. Coach Dylan Bowman, cornerbacks coach.
Coach Daniel Dodd, I do inside linebackers.
Coach Parker, coach the outside linebackers.
Coach Rob Dewar, athletic trainer.
Coach Daniel Grigsby, defensive line.
Coach Weston Griffiths, offensive line.
Coach Riley, secondary.
Coach Tommy Edwards, defensive coordinator.
Coach Schaefer, assistant O-line.
Coach Alan Metzel, and I'm the head coach and athletic director.
Coach Randall Kennedy, I coach inside receivers.
Coach Jaden Parrish, I coach fullbacks and tight ends.
Coach Olin Johnson, and I coach outside receivers.
Brad Britton, safeties.
Coach Todd Fenton, junior high.
Check 1, 2. We've got all kinds of technical issues. Welcome back to the
first
halftime
game
show.
And we're elderly.
Yes, and we're getting, it's showing.
Yeah.
To the Juicy's halftime show, 34-14, your Buckeyes lead over the Chapel Hill Bulldogs.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees.
And we are anticipating, Jeff, a second half that hopefully is a lot like the first half, as the Gilmer Buckeyes have come out here with literally explosive defense on the Chapel Hill Bulldogs. 3 interceptions by Ro Fluellen alone, another one by Bell, the big linebacker. 4 interceptions total in the first half has really made Chapel Hill one-dimensional. So as we continue,
that's got to be a Gilmer Buckeye record of some kind.
It's got to be a record. 3 interceptions in one game is something, but 3 interceptions in one half is only Ro Fluellen. As we continue on the Juicy's halftime show, I want to specifically thank our sponsor there for this halftime performance.
I just have one word for Juicy's.
Get us some halftime burgers.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Hurry up.
It's Becky and the gang over there are hurrying up, trying to get, I heard they had some COVID outbreaks that's kind of delayed their construction. But Jeff, I might dare to say that they would have some volunteers in the community.
I'm not looking for excuses, I'm looking for burgers. Hurry, Juicy's.
Well, thank you, Becky and the gang over at Juicy's, for being our halftime sponsor this whole year. Hopefully that's a year once again as the Buckeyes come off back-to-back state championship appearances and really were one play themselves away, and that was that blocked field goal that got returned for a touchdown. It really changed the nature of that game. But here, these Buckeyes are one half away from really an upset in the making. I hope they announce the score. We were just talking about it. Over in Kilgore, we're trying to get the Kilgore-Carthage score to see where.
And the reason we can't is because we have no cell signal here, which is the same reason we're in and out on this broadcast tonight.
Yeah, so for everybody watching this game tomorrow, it's been a heck of a game. Now we're back on the air. So
I
once
apologize again, folks, that we're in and out, but they don't have a Wi-Fi connection here in the stadium. We're actually outside under a tent in the stands, and we're using a cell signal, and nobody in the stands has cell signals. And at halftime, when everybody gets on their phone and not watching the game, we totally lose the cell signal. So, well, bear with us.
You're catching a glimpse. 34-14, Buckeyes lead at the half. We are going to kick off the Chapel
actually,
Hill.
they're telling us it is 34-14. We look like idiots because we were saying in 35. I could have sworn that was a, I watched it.
All these old men sent them. I do think that one referee raised his hand and the other said that was closest.
Okay.
Said no.
Okay.
So
it is 34-14.
It is 34-14. We are 20 points ahead, and we are 24 minutes away. And I am just on pins and needles, Jeff, because what a showing in the first half. This game really started out exactly the way that Chapel Hill wanted it to start out, and then they kicked it to Tarek Tate, and boy, was that a mistake, because he went to the house, and the Buckeyes really have not looked back since.
No, they haven't. And you notice they started kicking the ball a little deeper. And then they kicked it to Rowan Fluellen the next time, and he got about a 25-yard return.
Yeah, when things are going so well, you have to kick it to Rowan Fluellen.
Yeah.
It's great to be a Buckeye.
Yeah, it is. And you know, that defense, offensively and defensively, there's so many weapons on the Buckeyes, and seems like we have said that the last 3 years. But keep in mind, we've been to state the last 2 years. So, I mean, again, we're loaded with weapons. Now, we're a young team. I mean, we're a very young team. In fact, a while ago, we look out there and we've got a sophomore quarterback and a sophomore running back.
But Jeff,
in the game,
one thing that you must know that Chapel Hill knows now is that the Gilmer Buckeyes are fast. This may be pound for pound the most talented skill position guys that we've had in terms of
collectively at one time.
All at once.
I think it's definitely easy to say it's the fastest we've ever been.
It's an embarrassment.
You know how we used to say the Atlanta Rabbits? They always just had speed, and that's how they.
This
is what we look like now.
And you know when you literally
I think the Gilmer Buckeyes. I predict not only will Will Henderson win the next 3 years the 100 meter.
We'll win the
but I think we'll win the 4x1.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I watched a YouTube highlight video on our Juicy's halftime show here with Will Henderson anchoring our regional champion 4x200 meter team. And Jeff, me and you could have run on that relay, and as long as we just got it to Will at the end, we just throw up the number one and jog to the finish line because he can absolutely roll. Sub 21 second 200.
Now that is hyperbole.
That is hyperbole. But let me tell you.
But I get your point. They're fast, and we're going to do really well in state this year. Heck, this group of guys might win state this year in track. They really might. That's a real thing.
You get 20 points. In 2014 was the last time that we brought back 2 state championship crowns, one in football, led by Chris Boyd and the speed that he has. Of course, we want to wish Chris and Blake Lynch good luck in their season coming up with the Minnesota Vikings. Having 2 Gilmer Buckeyes as teammates on the same NFL defense, the chances of that are 1 in 16 million and change, which is pretty cool. But Jeff, one more thing to note as we kick off this season. The Gilmer Buckeyes are number 14 on the list of every single high school in the state of Texas in terms of total wins. That means we are in the top 1/10 of 1%. There's 1,441 schools in Texas playing football. We're number 14 on the list of all-time wins. And I hope that in the next 24 minutes we add one more to that total, as these Gilmer Buckeyes have established quite a program. Of course, we talk about Alan Metzel over the first 2 years of his coaching career, the most successful and the most wins in the history of the school in terms of his first 2 years coaching. But putting one more apple in that basket tonight would do wonders for the confidence of this young Buckeye team. And
well, here's what's crazy is Buckeyes put up 34 points against Bulldogs 14. We only ran 17 offensive plays, and we had 4 interceptions. I mean, 17 plays, 34 points with a quarterback that's only thrown 2 varsity passes before this game. And the passes he's thrown tonight, dead on.
Dead on. Accurate, poised. He has done an outstanding job taking care of the football. My Lord, hopefully I don't jinx him. But we start the second half 20 points down, the Bulldogs, as they tick closer, are either going to be ticking towards the Buckeyes or away from the Buckeyes. Let's hope it's the latter.
All right, number 84, Jose Govia, is coming in to kick off, and he's a pretty good little kicker. It's his first year to kick for the Buckeyes. I watched him in practice the other day. The coaches said if he makes this kick, you guys don't have to run today. And he made it, and he got tackled by his own team. Here's a big, nice, deep kick. It's going to be fielded on about the 11-yard line. Going to be returned down the right side. And one missed tackle. And nice effort there, nice return by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, he was shocked that we kicked it that deep. But they're starting at the 30-yard line. Let's see who the quarterback is that comes out for Chapel Hill, as this Black Flag defense come up with 4 huge takeaways for the first half. we are up 4-0 in terms of turnovers, which really is a death knell for most teams. But Jeff, this Chapel Hill team is talented, and every time number 3 touches the ball, as we've seen, that is.
Yeah, we were talking about this at halftime. It's kind of like somebody tell the defensive line, if it's blown, if he drops back to pass, don't penetrate, just stand there.
Yeah.
Make him throw it.
Make him throw it.
You know. But let's see what this defense can do again as Chapel Hill lines up 1st and 10 on the 30. Handoff. Quarterback keeper, left side, bounces out wide to the left. Tripped up, maybe got a yard.
Nice play there by number 20 and by number 1.
Elias Castillo over there.
Yeah, number 1.
From his outside linebacker position to make
Tyson
the stop.
Wilson.
And Tyson Wilson.
Doing a good job getting him strung out a little bit east and west and not north and south, Jeff. And he did not look like he had the pep in his step on that first carry, but brings up 2nd and 8. And let's see if the Buckeyes can get a 3 and out and get off the field here.
All right, here's the snap. The fake the quarterback, the handoff. Quarterback keeper, sack. And they've got him sacked. It's going to be a loss of at least 7, maybe 8. So that's the first, what we'll call sack of the night. He should have been sacked 5 times.
We just can't catch him.
He's just hard to get a hold of, but they got him that time.
3rd and 16. That is right where the Buckeyes want to be. As number 17 with 3 interceptions. That's the Texas State Defensive Preseason Player of the Year, Ro Fluellen, committed to Malcolm Kelly and TCU to go play receiver, but he is earning his dues on the defensive side of the ball so far here tonight.
All right, from the shotgun, here's the snap. Dropping back, looking to pass. Heavy pressure, rolling out. He's going to be sacked. No, he escapes again. Up the middle, look at this guy run. Dodges another tackle. Man, if he runs the ball, he gets down to the first down marker. That's unbelievable. What a talented young man he is. And that's a first down Bulldogs on a scramble.
Yeah, he will not throw the football, Jeff. He comes out on that.
I don't know if he ever intends to throw it. He drops back, and I think he's nervous about the 4 interceptions. I think he's looking for holes, not for receivers.
Yeah, exactly. Well, in comes the backup quarterback as he hurts himself on that play. Let's see if the Buckeyes can get another stop here.
He fumbles the ball, picks it up, going to be tackled for a loss of 2. And again, he's fumbled the ball at least 5-6 times tonight so far.
The referee's saying that he's down. We thought that he fumbled the ball.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Continues to run with the backup quarterback. And the backup quarterback's not bad, Jeff. He's just not number 3. When you got 3rd and 15 and literally 17 yards behind the first down marker, a guy's hanging off of you, and you shake him loose and go pick up 17 yards, and he can do that nearly every time he touches it. I'm glad he's over there on the sideline right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Number 8, the backup quarterback in the game now, in the shotgun with 1 back in the backfield. All right, fakes the handoff, looking to pass, and he's going to run to the left side. And he's going to pick up big yards as they can't get him down. He just drives through the Buckeye defender and just keeps going. That was a great effort there by number 8.
It's going to be spotted just shooting first down.
I take that back. Maybe put number 3 back in the game.
Yeah, well, this guy's got some wheels too. Number 3, number 1, number 8, number 4 for Chapel Hill. All got, they got wheels.
Chapel Hill's got a player down, but this is a huge down, Jeff, as he stepped out of bounds. 3rd down and 1 right at midfield.
All right, well, while they're taking a timeout, nope, looks like they're going to get him up. We don't have time to jump to commercials, but we, again, want to thank all of our sponsors that have come alongside us, supporting the Buckeyes, supporting these young people. All the proceeds from the sponsors go to the Buckeye Boosters to help all athletics. So we appreciate them, and I want to encourage all of our Buckeye listeners to support those people. Stay in Upshur County and support those that support our kids.
Absolutely. Big 3rd and 1, a money down here for the Buckeyes. Maybe one of those negative plays jumps up and bites Chapel Hill, and they have to punt the ball. 2 minutes and 2 seconds gone off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. And the Buckeyes happy to see that time expire.
All right, here's the snap. He drops back looking to pass under heavy pressure, and he gets it off, and it was a nice pass indeed. And that is going to be an easy first down all the way down to the 35-yard line of the Buckeyes. And he picks up an extra yard, so it's going to be spotted 1st and 10 on the 34 of the Buckeyes. He threw a bullet.
Yeah, and Rowan Fluellen was out of the game that play, and it showed up as Chapel Hill has kind of found some life here behind number 8, their new quarterback.
2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, 1 back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Fakes the hand up, no, hands off to the right side. And the running back hits the line with authority. Elias trips him up. We've got a Buckeye, I think, with maybe a cramp. Got a Buckeye down and a flag down. We're going to take a break, recognize one of our sponsors. We'll be right back.
Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams. Lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
So, Jeff, we had a personal foul, hands to the face by Braylon Ward, that's going to move Chapel Hill another 15 yards and give them a brand new first down inside the red zone. With 8:54
Good news is
left.
number 17 is jogging off on his own.
Yeah, he just had a cramp there. That's Ro Fluellen. This Buckeye Black Flag defense has got to find a way to stand up here. They're protecting a 20-point lead, Jeff. And the exact thing that Chapel Hill wanted to do was take the ball and drive the length of the field and score to start. And we do not have available for this.
So they are in great field position right now. So
3 is back in the game.
1st and 10, ball spotted on about the 12-yard line. Number 4, the running back. Number 3, Brisbane. Hands off to number 4 around the right side. He finds a big hole, and he gets smacked there by number 1 as he comes through the line. But he had a great hole, his offensive line made for him. Tyson Wilson luckily stepped up and hit him in the face, or that would have been 6 points.
Yeah, the clock continues to run, and Chapel Hill continues to take their time. And Jeff, with a 20-point lead now under threat, as Chapel Hill takes this kick and drives the length of the field, they're 2nd down, and they could still pick up a first down at the 2.
It's like 2nd and 1. Ball's on the 4. Here's the snap. Fakes it. Going to be a keeper to the left side. Touchdown. Untouched. Number 3, Brisbane. He gets in there and gets Chapel Hill back in this game.
Yeah, that is exactly what Chapel Hill needed, Jeff. And you notice that they brought in the new quarterback to throw the football out of a 3rd down situation, which really kind of bailed them out on 2 different occasions. But really what bailed them out was number 3's legs. As the Buckeyes in this possession have them back deep.
The kick
is up and good.
Yeah.
Bringing the score to 13-point deficit, 34-21. Chapel Hill comes out and does what they want to do. Let's see if the Buckeyes can answer after this.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
All right, we're back in Chapel Hill. 7:58 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Buckeyes still lead 34-21 as the Bulldogs just marched their way down the field and had a little help from a 15-yard penalty on the defense of the
plays.
Buckeyes.
That's what we talked about on both sides, Jeff. First game of the season, those negative plays when 2 evenly matched teams square off. And those big 4 turnovers for Chapel Hill is what really the negative plays that help.
It is. All right, they're going back to the little pooch kick. They got it again, number 7. And I mean, he gets clocked. and I mean clocked big time by one of the kickoff guys and puts him right on his can. This was a touchdown earlier when they kicked it to him. This time, you know, they got down there and hit Tate right as he turned the corner.
Here's Ashton Haynes, the senior, back into the ball game. And we are 65 yards away from pay dirt with 75.
Yeah, remember, we only ran 17 plays in the first half.
Exactly.
We usually run about 60-plus plays per game, if that gives you any idea of how few plays that it took the Buckeyes to get 34 points. Got a man in motion. They're going to hand off up the middle.
That's
and
Ashton.
Ashton's going to fall forward for a gain of about 4 yards.
Fantastic job.
That's what you want on first down.
Exactly right. Run the clock. Keep the clock moving as you drive down the field behind the senior. They're going to give him 3 yards on that play. 2nd and 7 for the Buckeyes.
Buckeyes lining up again, this time with 3 receivers, wide to the left, 1 to the right. And Caden doing a good job there correcting his receivers, his outside receivers. Here's the snap. Caden drops back. He's got heavy pressure. Gets the ball off number 15. Big yards and a first down.
Fantastic job there by
Brennan Webb. Brennan Webb does a good job, and Caden stayed poised. He had that big number 55 coming off the right side. That's the TCU commit, I believe.
That's right.
He's coming in his face, and he never panicked. He threw the ball, made a nice pass. First down, Buckeyes. Great job. Ball spotted on the 46. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff, dumps another one out to Webb. Webb finds another hole, gets it about 3 yards.
We'll take it. As Coach Metzel showing them that, hey, our sophomore quarterback can throw the ball. Yours may have 4 interceptions. Ours has nothing but completions. They may be short passes, but he's done a great job.
Yeah.
And how about the
They're
sophomore
building
Webb?
his confidence.
Absolutely.
2-yard gain on the play, 2nd and 8 for the Buckeyes. Ball's on the 48-yard line.
No hurry here, Jeff.
Here's the snap. Hands off up the middle, Ashton Haynes. Ashton falling forward, gets to midfield right around the 50. That's going to be a gain of about 2. Aaron Bell checks in at fullback. I can't wait till they actually hand the ball to him. I'd like to see that.
My goodness, he is a huge skill position player for sure. Number 0, and that just means that whatever you think he weighs, add a 0.
Had an interception. In the,
almost returned for a touchdown.
Yeah, nearly returned. And you'll see him. He's out for. He's an inside receiver right now. So they're going to throw the ball to him a few times. High snap, handoff to Ashton Haynes, and that's a broken play. They get him before he gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to bring up 4th down and force the Buckeyes to have to punt.
Yeah. And this is exactly.
That was a great defensive stand.
Yeah. And they're just rushing on 3rd down, Jeff. They're sending the house. And it's a bad snap that Caden just made look good because he jumped up and one-handed that snap. But this is one of those situations where, don't look now, but Chapel Hill, having done what they wanted to do to start the second half, is going to get the ball right back.
Great snap there by the deep snapper. And a good punt there by Arona. The ball's going to roll all the way down to the 6-yard line. What a great job there by Amaro Arona, number 3, on the punt. Nice snap by the deep snapper. And I tell you what, Todd, when we talk about level, we've talked a little bit about Will and his speed tonight. We've talked about several Buckeyes. But I want to do a comparison because we've been doing this for 21 years and we've watched a lot of Buckeye football, obviously. I'm going to compare. Sometimes I like to compare players to former players. Like this guy reminds me of one of my favorite players, for example, Chase Tate, or one of those. Y'all have heard me talk about that over the years. I'm going to tell you who Caden Tennyson reminds me of. And he's playing for the Minnesota Vikings right now. That's your first hint. Can you guess who I'm thinking about?
Yeah, Chris Boyd.
That's who he reminds me of, is Chris Boyd as a sophomore. I think he's that level of athlete. All right, handoff to the running back. The Buckeyes are all over him. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
That's Braylon Ward.
Number 44, the nose guard, Braylon Ward, on the stop. And he is just a special kind of athlete. How would you like to be a center and line up against that all night long?
Yeah, he's filling the shoes of our number 44 from last year, who was the heart and soul of our defense, and I'm glad that he has stepped up in a big way. 4:47 clock running, still in this third quarter, Jeff. Chapel Hill down 13 points now, but they are 96 yards away from pay dirt.
They're playing with a little more enthusiasm than they were in the first half.
Buckeyes need to make something happen here.
Yeah, you need a back-breaking event like a fumble or a interception. Quarterback keeper's got a big hole, runs up the middle. Fumble. He fumbled, but it looks like they recovered. And so he picked up a few yards on that one.
And he is out of the game, Jeff. That number 3 just hurt his knee.
Well, I hope not severely, and I hope not bad. We're going to take a timeout as well, recognize some of our sponsors, and we will be right back after these messages.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
Back to the action here, Jeff, and that is a huge blow as number 3, the quarterback and Mr. All-World Everything for Chapel Hill, has a wheel that is a little wobbly there, and it brings up 3rd down and 8 now. But don't forget, when number 8 came into the game previously, boy, he really let Chapel Hill's offense on fire, led them all the way down the field to a touchdown. With 4:15 left here in this third quarter, it is imperative that 3rd down and 8, remember this down, that the Buckeyes get off the field. Roe Llewellyn is back there at a safety position. I'm not sure that they're going to try to throw the ball this deep, having thrown 4 interceptions already. But the Buckeyes have to figure a way to get off the field right here.
Almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything.
All right, so we're looking at 3rd and long. It's about 3rd and 9. Here's the snap. Quarterback rolls to his right side, looking to pass, going to run. That was number 8. They knocked the ball down, and Buckeyes recovered the fumble.
Fumble, Buckeye football. My gracious.
Well, let's wait for the
Buckeye
Buckeyes
football inside the 10-yard line, and that will be a nail on the coffin.
I need to remember.
We don't know who got it or forced it, but say 0. No, recovered by 0.
So what a break here, Jeff, for the Buckeyes. Fumble as number 8 tries to make something happen and carries that ball like a loaf of bread, and number 3, Arona, knocks it out. And just like that, the Buckeyes are in business. 1st and goal from the Chapel Hill 7.
Well, and need I say, 5th turnover of the night.
Huge.
4 interceptions, 1 fumble.
And all in really, really bad places.
Yeah, great field position for the Buckeyes here. You got Will Henderson, the back, hand off to Will up the middle, number 2. He's going to be brought down by number 9 on the defense. Short game.
And Jeff, I'm totally okay with that. Like, you remember the last touchdown the Buckeyes scored, it took them 3 downs, but they ate a minute and a half off the clock.
A lot of clock, yeah.
As we tick down now with this third quarter, under 3 or close to 3 minutes, it's 2nd and goal at the 5. I'm okay with scoring on 3rd down.
2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Handoff once again to Will, and Will's going to get up there close to the first down. I mean the goal line. He's probably on like the 1-yard line. And they're just handing it to him right up the gut. They got that big fullback in there, 0, number Bell, and he tried to get up there behind Will, and we just had a jailbreak from the left side. He's dropped for an actual loss. So now we're 4th down.
Yeah, we'll kick it.
And they're actually going to kick. And
right play for sure.
So just like, I mean, boy, that happens quick, how you're sitting there looking at a guaranteed touchdown, and now you're kicking an extra point.
Well, this is a big 3 points for the Buckeyes.
Yeah, number 84's got a good leg. He's going to get this one. This is Jose Jovia, and that is up and through the uprights, and the Buckeyes put 3 more on the board, so with 2:25 left to play in the third quarter, Gilmer goes up 37-21. We'll be right back.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
Rowdy Creek Ranch, located on Highway 300 between Gilmer and Longview, is your destination for a world-class escape. With everything from dinner and wine tastings to weekend retreats in our unique and luxurious glamping park, Rowdy Creek is a little piece of heaven right in our own backyard. Corporate events, reunion gatherings, weekend getaways, and even dinner with live music are all on offer at Rowdy Creek Ranch.
Back to the action as the Buckeyes convert a turnover inside the 10 to a field goal. Chapel Hill stands up and holds the Buckeyes, keeps them out of the end zone.
All right, here we go. Nice high kick, going to be fielded on the 25-yard line by number 2. Comes back to midfield, and they're all over him. Number 13, the first one there, that was Jeremiah Noble.
Yeah, G-Man.
You know, we've called his name
He's so talented.
4 or 5 times tonight. He's
he was
getting
a
down
starter during the playoffs as a freshman, and he is really Caden Tennyson's alter ego, a lot like Stump Godfrey and Braylon Webb were back in the day. That's who those two remind me of, Jeff, when you start talking about flashbacks. Of course, Jeremiah and Caden, neither one of them are kind of as big and explosive, but, you know, Braylon wound up being team captain at the University of Missouri in the SEC, played a little bit with the Texans and the Buffalo Bills, and one of the Buckeye greats, and of course, everybody knows Stump.
Yeah, one of 6 NFL players the Buckeyes have had over the years. And
he's back in the game.
Here comes the Bulldogs. Here's the snap. Handoff, number 4, left side. And he broke one out the left side. He is running for the house. And it's a foot race. Number 2, Kendall Jackson, showing his speed on the slant. And thank God for Kendall. But that was a jailbreak right there. Nice long run by number 4. You notice they're going to probably be forced to hand off a little more. Number 3 still nursing that knee injury that he went out of the game with earlier. So they're on the 25-yard line of the Buckeyes with first down. And we've seen some big plays from them tonight.
Yeah, number 4 can break it at any time.
At any time. These guys have got wheels. And if you don't make a tackle, they're going to get down the field on you. Here's another handoff, number 4 up the middle. Got another gap. Luckily, tripped out by number 17, Rowan Flewellen. And Rowan just has a nose for the football.
Yeah, he really does. And he scores coming out of the game.
6 foot, 182 pounds, and he will hit you like a tiger.
Yeah.
So ball is on the 20-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 5 for Chapel Hill. They're down here knocking on the door, but they've had some bad luck down here inside the red zone tonight against the Buckeyes. So let's see if we can get another interception as they drop back to pass. They're going for the end zone, almost picked off. Number 14, he had another yard in the back of that end zone. Connor Dodd would have picked that one off.
Yeah, we get now basically to 3rd down, right where the Buckeyes were before, Jeff, and I don't know that Chapel Hill has a kicking game. Number 3, obviously not the passer that kind of he was billed to be as Mr. All-State, All-World Player of the Year, 4 interceptions in the first half.
2 receivers left, 2 right. 1 back in the backfield. Here's a snap, handoff around the right side. He's got the corner on him, and this is a new running back. We haven't seen him before. This is number 10 for Chapel Hill, and that is Greenlee, and he's got some wheels on him as well. They got a lot of speed on this team.
Well,
the ball is now on the 14-yard line.
They're pretty
Chapel
one-dimensional.
Hill is 1st and 10 from the 14.
Zone read is pretty much all that's worked for them tonight. And you don't think they're going to not go back to it, or that quarterback, number 3, who scored 2 touchdowns already, just keeping the ball. Buckeyes got to find a way to get a stop.
One back in the backfield. Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper, left side. Got a heck of a block on that left side on the Buckeyes. And he's going to pick up probably 3 or 4 yards on that left side. And I thought we had him dead to right, and they cracked back and made a heck of a block on the Buckeyes.
Yeah, the guy who cracked back is still laying on the ground.
Is that the young man that made the block?
I think he knocked himself out. Let's take a quick break, Jeff, and come back with 2nd down after this.
At First National Bank, together we're better. We're a regional bank, big enough for all of East Texas, that cares and is invested in the people and communities we serve, with the strength and services to meet the needs of every customer, big or small. From business financing for big companies and small mom and pops to our family of personal banking customers. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better. And we think that's kind of a big deal.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
Think there's nothing to do in a small town? We disagree. Gilmer, Texas. Come live what you've been looking for. Shop Gilmer. Play Gilmer. Live Gilmer.
Two-time Hall of Fame inductees, Brent Godarzi and Marty Young. Back-to-back #1 trucking firm in the nation. Back-to-back best attorney and best law firm in East Texas.
It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
I like it. What else do you have?
Here's one. It's fully loaded, great gas mileage, 30,000-mile warranty.
Looks like the same car.
Exactly the same. But this one's $120 less per month.
What's the catch?
No catch if you use Credit Union of Texas. Let me show you.
With the Credit Union of Texas Flex Auto Loan, you get the car of your dreams. Lower payments, no hassle. Get started now at cutx.org.
Crowley Funeral Home has been serving families in Gilmer since 1883. Funeral director and Gilmer High School graduate Troy Murray leads the professional staff at Crowley Funeral Home and is committed to providing dignified, respectful, and compassionate assistance to every family in their time of need. Crowley Funeral Home feels strongly about maintaining high standards of excellent service while still keeping prices affordable. At Crowley Funeral Home, we treat your family as our own.
Gilmer National Bank is your hometown community bank, serving people in East Texas for over a century. We are your neighbors, friends, and partners in making this a great place to live. Our employees make us a special place to do business. We are there for you when you need us. Come by and see us and find out what makes people say, "That's my bank." Gilmer National Bank, an equal opportunity lender and member FDIC.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you are watching the commercials and wondering what's going on and where's the game, they've got a young man from Chapel Hill down on the field, and they're taking every precaution with him as he's injured. So our thoughts and prayers go out to him right now. And I think they're fixing to try to, yep, they're getting him up now. So we'll be back here in just a moment.
At Farmers Insurance, we've seen almost everything, so we know how to cover almost anything, even a rock and wreck. He rocked and rolled right into it, but we covered it. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
All right, we're back to the action here after an injury timeout. And the young man, just so you know, folks, he did walk off on his own 2 feet. And so we hope he has a speedy recovery. So here's where we're at. 1:14, clock is running. It's 37-21. Bulldogs have the ball on the 14-yard line. It is 2nd and 10. Handoff around the left side, number 4, and look at him hit the corner. I mean, that looks like a Division I back right there. Where has he been in the first half?
Yeah.
For the Chapel Hill
He's
Bulldogs.
had several big runs.
He picks up the first down, and he's down inside the 3.
So it's going to be first and goal at the 2-yard line.
2-yard line for Chapel Hill, so they are knocking on the door here. Unless the Buckeyes can step up here and make a big stance here at the goal line, they're fixing to make this game 28-37. So with 5 turnovers, they could be within 1 score. And that Buckeyes do stuff him, drop him for a loss. As about 5 Buckeyes get there and put him in the turf. He loses his helmet, so he'll have to come out of play.
Yeah, two guys are going to have to come out of play that lost their helmets.
And I think there's just one. He was just holding it for him.
So it's a 35-0 score in Kilgore, Jeff. We found out Carthage absolutely dismantling the Kilgore Bulldogs.
Not a big surprise there. So now the ball is spotted on the 4-yard line. They're going to say he got to the 4-yard line. 29 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Chapel Hill, 2nd and goal on the 3. High snap. Fakes the handoff. Looking to pass. Throws to the back of the end zone, and what a catch for a touchdown. That was a well-thrown ball and a great diving catch by number 10 in the back of the end zone for a Bulldog touchdown with 16 seconds left to play in the third.
A huge play here, Jeff, as they're going to go for 2 to try to make this a 1-score game. And if they're able to do that, you're going to have 1 quarter where the Buckeyes are going to have to win the 4th quarter to keep Chapel Hill out of this game. It's amazing, as Joe Dodd was telling us, they've got 5 turnovers in the game, and it's now 1 play away from being a 1-score game.
Yeah, pretty phenomenal. You talk about fighting to stay in the game. This is why they are ranked number 3 in Division I. They got the players to do it. Quarterback keeper up the middle, and they're going to stop him. He does not get the 2, and that's a big deal. That is a big deal right there. Got a little fight on the field. Flags flying everywhere. And but they do not get the 2-point conversion. Hopefully those 2 flags were offsetting penalties.
Yeah.
And it won't be assessed against the Buckeyes on the kickoff.
Laundry on the field.
You know, the kicking game has played a big part tonight too, in in favor of the Buckeyes. We'll be right back after these messages, folks, for the kickoff, and the Buckeyes will have the ball.
When tragedy strikes, you don't want to be in a position where you're second-guessing your lawyer's ability or the resolve to get you fairly compensated. When you hire Godarzi & Young, you know you're hiring a law firm that has nationally ranked settlements and verdicts. We have over 2 decades of experience holding 18-wheeler companies accountable for their negligent action. Don't make the mistake of hiring anybody else. Hire the best. Hire Godarzi & Young.
All right, we're back to the action here with 16 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Amazingly, the Bulldogs have come within 10 points of the Buckeyes. It's 37-27. And what makes that phenomenal, Todd, is we have 5 turnovers. 5 turnovers. So we've got a dead ball foul. 15 yards is going to be assessed against Gilmer. So evidently we started the fight, and we're gonna suffer on the kickoff here. And that's something that's really helped us tonight. You know, we talk about this being a game of inches. Special teams helps win games. 15 yards being assessed is huge. It's huge.
Yeah, they'll onside kick.
Yeah, no reason not to. With you're almost to the fourth quarter. You're down 2 scores, and they may onside kick right here. And they've got some speed to get to it. I don't know how good their kicker is.
Yeah, I don't know how we stop them. They start a scuffle and we get a flag. But this 10 points is huge. So is the field goal in that last turnover that, of course, the Buckeyes wish that they could turn into a touchdown right now. But this is now a 10-point game, and the Buckeyes have got to respond here. 16 seconds left in the third quarter.
All right, here, and they do an onside kick, and it's no good because it hit one of their players.
Yeah, but it
was a terrible onside kick.
Yeah.
And so that answers our question about the kicker. He kicked it about 5 yards. Their own players ran into it. So Buckeyes are gonna kind of a lucky break there. Now I'm not sure what the rule is there. When it hit the player, shouldn't the ball be spotted up here where it hit their player?
Yeah, it absolutely should. They didn't even throw a flag, Jeff. That's what I'm saying. We got some home.
Well, I'm not
cooking
sure.
going
I
on
don't know
here.
the rule there, so I'm not sure. I've never seen that happen. And they are coming. Look at their defense lining up. They're going to bring the kitchen sink. Caden throws a nice out route, a little low, intended for Webb, and that ball just needed a little bit more.
We got to run one more play here in this third quarter, Jeff. But more importantly, the Buckeyes got to get in rhythm offensively and drive the length of the field and go make this a 17-point game.
So 2nd and 10. Ball spotted on about the 30-yard line of the Buckeyes. You got Tate wide to the left side. Handoff up the middle. He's got a hole. And that's going to be a big 9-yard run, maybe 8, by number 9, Haynes.
Griffin on the stop for the Bulldogs.
He is just such a strong runner.
Did they throw a flag, Jeff?
Well, they're not. Yeah, we got a flag on the play, so they're not moving the sticks. So we'll see how they assess this. Looks like it's going to be against the Buckeyes. So that's going to back us up. We'll see what this illegal shift on the Buckeyes. So they're going to, instead of a 9-yard gain, we're gonna end up with a 5-yard loss. It's going to back us up. It's going to be 2nd and 15. 2nd and 15 from the 25 now.
What a huge play, Jeff. All of a sudden, the referees.
And that's the end of the third quarter. Buckeyes lead 37-27. We'll be right back. Extra, extra. Read all about tonight's game in Thursday's Gilmer Mirror, complete with pictures, coaches' comments, and a look at next week's opponent. The Gilmer Mirror has been serving the citizens of Upshur County since 1877. You know, reading the news online is fine, but there is nothing like physically picking up your hometown paper, turning the pages, and catching up on everything going on in our area. If you're not subscribing to the Gilmer Mirror, you're probably missing out. It's one of my favorite publications, and I know you'll love it too. The Gilmer Mirror, www.gilmermirror.com.
And
back here.
Fourth quarter, Jeff. We got a barn burner as 5 turnovers for Chapel Hill, and still they figured out a way to stay in this game. 37-27. This is a long way from decided as the Buckeyes, after a 9-yard evidently run by Ashton Haynes to put them in 3rd and 1, get backed up by an illegal shift to start this fourth quarter.
The crazy thing is 75% of the yards tonight, maybe not quite that high, but a lot of the yards from Chapel Hill tonight's been on broken plays. A dump pass out to number 17, Rowan Fluellen. Rowan makes a nice spin move to get out to the 30-yard line, so they're back basically to the original line of scrimmage, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10.
And Rowe's down.
And Rowe is laid out again.
He's had cramps.
Slow, yeah, he has. Slow to get up.
Injury timeout on the field.
And so they're going to take a minute to try to stretch him out. And while they're doing that, we'll take another commercial break and be right back.
Because of investments in our surrounding infrastructure, eTex offers advanced improvements in internet connections, service experience, and quality of life for our customers. The driving force for eTex has been to create a state-of-the-art company using both the latest technology and local expert technicians, people you know. And best of all, a certified support team that delivers quality support within hours, not days. eTex, local support from the team you trust.
And back to the action is Rowe Fluellen cramping up a little bit, as he has several times during this game. He makes that move to get this to a manageable 3rd and 9, but no doubt, Jeff, this is 3rd and 9. This is not 4-down territory. 11:44, still a lot of football here to be played. This is a critical down for the Buckeyes to try to get this conversion. Young offense really being put under the gun for the first time. Expect blitz, Jeff. They have absolutely brought the house on every single one of these plays. Let's see if the Buckeyes can sting them with a
Yeah, boy, what a good game to open the season with. If you're a football fan, you're getting your money's worth tonight. Here's the snap. They're coming hard from the outside. Caden forced out of the pocket, and he's going to be sacked. Sacked for a loss. The coaches are yelling face mask, and they're not going to get the penalty as the referees didn't see it. And that is a backbreaker.
Referees aren't going to see much for the Buckeyes for the rest of this game.
That is the 4th down and about 8. So Buckeyes, big sack there for the Bulldogs as we tick down to 11 minutes left in this game.
You know they're bringing pressure, Jeff. Every single time on 3rd down, they're bringing pressure. Let's see if Verona can get another one of those huge kicks that will get away as the dangerous number 1 is standing at his own 45-yard line.
All right, here's Verona, and he gets off a pretty nice punt, and it's caught actually by number 25. That's a first for me. I've not seen that. I think he panicked. He saw a ball coming. Number 25, Jamar Bird, actually catches the ball and instead of letting it hit and take a roll. And that's just a young man mistake, not a problem. He probably will never do that again.
10:32 left in this ball game, Jeff. Thankfully, it's a 10-point lead for the Buckeyes. But the Black Flag defense, boy, we could sure use another turnover right here as you can start to feel the momentum shift. And this is going to be the best that Chapel Hill's got. And that number 4 in the backfield, he will be running downhill.
Yeah, he will be. So here comes the Buckeyes. Hand off to number 4 around the right side. And he's going to be brought down for a loss. And that is number 1, Wilson.
Tyson Wilson does a great job. We got another
player down on the field. And that's great because we get to recognize our sponsors once again. We'll be right back.
Growing up as a child in East Texas, I was always taught that I had to outwork my opponent. That same principle has carried over into our law firm. And for over 20 years, we've outworked each and every insurance company, lawyer, or corporation we've gone against. If you look at our results, they prove it. Put us to work for you, and we promise to never stray from the same East Texas work ethic that you were raised on.
It's gonna be alright. How can you tell? I feel it in my heart. It's gonna be okay.
Juicy's Burgers, serving you for over 40 years.
To another day. It's gonna be alright.
All right, we're back to the action. 10:20 left to play in the 4th quarter. It's 37-27, Buckeyes lead. Chapel Hill has the ball. They lost a yard on that last play, so it's 2nd and 11. Ball is on their own 40-yard line.
Number 3 back in quarterback.
They just lost that big number 75. That is painful if you're Chapel Hill. He went out with a cramp. Here's the snap. Number 3 rolls to his right side. Heavy pressure. Throws a long one downfield. And that ball is going to fall incomplete.
And here's a 3rd down and unmanageable for Chapel Hill, Jeff. Rushing and just scrambling is the only way that they've converted any of these. And for the Black Flag, this is a huge opportunity. Rowan Fluellen comes back into the ball game, maybe hunting down, lurking back there in the secondary, his 4th interception of the game. That's insane to even say that. But there he stands. 9:54 left to play in this 4th quarter. 3rd down and 12 for Chapel Hill from their own 40. They're taking their sweet time, 15 seconds on the play clock. Number 3 still in at
All
quarterback.
right, we're looking at 3rd and 11. Number 4 is in at running back. Number 3, the quarterback.
Scramble right here.
Here's the snap. they reverse, and it may not turn into anything. They got 1 yard out of that. The Buckeyes did a great job of closing the gap. And when they handed it to number 1, who's maybe the fastest guy on their football team, I was a little panicked because there was nobody over here at home. But Buckeyes did a great job of closing to the ball. Coaches always teach these young men, your value to the team is measured by how close you are to the ball at the whistle.
And bro, there was a whole
and there was a whole bunch of them there.
That's Arona.
And we've got Arona down now with a cramp. And this is typical every year. First game of the year, these guys are not in shape yet. They're dehydrated. It's hot, and they're going to just drag him right off the field. I mean, literally drag him off the field. And
so Eric Tate's going to go back and return this kick.
So
got a touchdown tonight on a kick return already.
Yeah, and he is quite capable. Fluellen
got to watch for the
normally
fake here,
is our return man, but Tate very capable. They got a nice clean snap, and they get off a nice punt, and they are down there on top of him. Dangerous catch. He fumbles it, but thank God gets on top of it. I would have got away from that. It probably would have bounced into the end zone. But again, first game, everybody's kind of getting, it's a lot of nerves. He would have been better off to let that one go, but we are able to recover it on the 5.
So early in the season, Jeff, we have a season-defining drive. Luckily, 9:39 left to play, and we still have a 10-point lead.
Yeah, Joe Dodd says he didn't think that would go in the end zone, but he's wrong. So you just keep the stats. Let us handle the tough stuff, Joe.
They're daring Caden to throw the football here.
All right. So Caden is standing in his own end zone. Nice test. Your handoff to Haynes. Got a hole. He's sprinting down the side, down the middle, and he gets all the way to the 30-yard line.
That is huge.
25-yard gain by number 9, Haynes, right up the middle, and he's limping a little bit. And so that is going to bring in now number, I believe, 24 into the game.
Fresh legs.
That is Brinkley. And Brinkley can run the ball. If you'll remember last year, Kavion Brinkley runs a lot like Haynes. Very powerful. And that's just a broken play. Receivers running a different route than the quarterback was expecting.
And that was wide open, too. If Eric checks up on that, he's got one man to beat.
2nd and 10.
As we caught the defense sleeping with one man out here in man-to-man coverage. Coaches saw that and are upset that they didn't catch Chapel Hill. They're in a one deep safety look with 8 men in the box.
All right, high snap. He's able to pull it down. Hand off to Brinkley, and he's going to get nothing. That's going to be a...
Henderson on the carry.
Just got back, maybe lost half a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down. Not what you want. We still got 9 minutes left in this game. You don't want to give the ball back here.
No, we want to go convert this and go run some clock and go score.
It's unfortunate that Haynes had to come out of the game. So Kevion Brinkley still in the game. We got 2 receivers, wide to the left, 2 to the right. Brinkley goes in motion to the right side. Tennyson drops back, looking to pass, throws one to Rowan Fluellen, complete across the middle, and they're going to be right at that first down marker. That should be a first down, depending on the spot. And, I mean, that was thrown right there. They're going to say first down. So the Buckeyes get a nice call.
Nice throw by Caden, stepping up and throwing to your all-state performer. And boy, does row come up huge when it counts. First down, Buckeyes.
2 receivers left, 1 right. Brinkley, handoff up the middle. He finds a hole. He's got about 7-8 yards on that carry. Nice run there by Brinkley.
And with a 10-point lead, clock running, driving the ball, this is exactly where the Buckeyes want to be right now.
Yeah,
Let's
you just
keep
want to
pulling.
drive. You want to drive the clock. 7:56 left to play. Just let that clock tick down. We got plenty of time. Here's the snap. Quarterback keeper, right side, and they trip him up immediately. He gets close to the first down marker, but not quite. That's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
It'll be 3rd down and 2.
They did a good job of shoestring tackling him there. Now Haynes comes back into the game. The steamroller. So look for something up the gut. Right here. Right over center. Haynes gets the 2 yards plus some. Nice hard run there by Haynes. He just keeps those legs churning. He spins, he jerks. I mean, he just runs angry.
I'm telling you, Jeff, Ashton Haynes, since Gus Johnson, who spent time in the NFL, probably is the most gifted running back that the Buckeyes have seen. He's not a speedster in terms of Will Henderson's speed, but he is just a gifted runner.
Yeah, he's just a powerful runner. So Haynes still in the game, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Looking to pass. Caden throws a long one, and it is going to be pass interference. They totally just fell under Rowan Fluella and knocked him down.
Let me tell you, Rowe had his lunch eaten. Number 8, the quarterback, did a great job by tackling Rowan, because otherwise Rowe's in the end zone right now.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard penalty. So that's going to be another automatic first down and good field position for the Buckeyes. So they're going to mark off.
We're going to have it at the 35, Jeff.
15 big ones, and that is a first down and ball on the 35-yard line. And the good news is it's first down.
That's right.
With 7 minutes left in the game, we just want to keep eating clock.
Run the clock and hand the ball to number 9.
Yeah. Stay healthy, Ashton, and run hard. That's the game plan for the rest of the next 7 minutes. Hand off to Ashton up the middle. He finds a gap. He's headed to the house. Breaking tackles inside the 10. First down, Buckeyes. That young man hits a hole.
He is special. Ashton Haynes.
He hits a hole so hard running north and south.
And Jeff, not just a special running back, but he's a special young man.
Hand off again. This time he bounces out to the left side. Look at him breaking tackles down to the 1.
Touchdown, Buckeyes.
I didn't see him go across the plane. That's a touchdown by Ashton Haynes. What a great series there on the legs of Ashton Haynes, number 9. And we got some players slow to get up, more cramps on the field.
So from the 35, Ashton Haynes rushes twice to the goal line. Touchdown Buckeyes, 43-27. Extra point left to come. Stretch this into 17 points, and that takes a lot of wind out of the sails of the Chapel Hill Bulldogs when we've got 6:47 left to play.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I've been a little nervous the last few minutes.
I've been very nervous.
I mean,
when you got 5 turnovers, you expect for the score to be 63 to 12, something like that. It's obvious.
The number of athletes Chapel Hill has on their side of the ball,
it's scary.
Is alarming.
Well, and you know what? The guys over in Chapel Hill on the radio are saying the same thing about us right now, too.
Yeah.
The number of athletes that the Buckeyes roll out.
Well, it just made for a great opening game. This has been a great football game. If you like football, you can't ask for a better opener, I'm going to tell you. 6:47 left to play in this game. Buckeyes lead 43-27, and the extra point attempt is next. So hopefully the Buckeyes will be able to hit this. They may go for 2 here, you never know.
Yeah, to get to 17, we got to kick this one, I think, to make it a 3-score game and not 2-score game.
So here comes the snap. And they got him off sides. That's a free one.
Flag on the play.
I think we'll take the good.
Well, did they blow the whistle before he kicked? Yeah, he kicked it good. That should be just a point, and let's go to the house and kick off. So the referees are down here discussing what they want to do about that. I think
they're calling an illegal procedure against the Buckeyes.
Oh, okay. Well, evidently we drew them off sides. So that'll back up the Buckeyes about 5 yards, and we'll just do it again. 6:47 again left to play. Buckeye 43, Bulldogs 27. And we'll just kick it again. He's got plenty of leg. We're not worried about that. Just not sure what the holdup is. All right, here we go. Let's get this extra point. This is the longest extra point attempt we've ever had. So Buckeyes need this one to make it a 3-score game. Ball is up and through the upright, so that was just an exercise in futility. We'll be right back after these messages.
Rowdy Creek Ranch, located on Highway 300 between Gilmer and Longview, is your destination for a world-class escape. With everything from dinner and wine tastings to weekend retreats in our unique and luxurious glamping park, Rowdy Creek is a little piece of heaven right in our own backyard. Corporate events, reunion gatherings, weekend getaways, and even dinner with live music are all on offer at Rowdy Creek Ranch.
Okay, 6:47 left to play in the fourth quarter. Buckeyes now lead 44-27. I feel a little better about it, but I'll tell you now.
I feel better about 17 than 10.
Yeah, I do
sure.
too, but 6:47 is a long time in a football game. And hopefully we'll get at least one more score out of this game tonight. But the idea is to play keep away from Chapel Hill, who has a deadly offense. Here's the kickoff. It is a high kick. Going to be fielded on the 25-yard line by number 0. He's running all the way across the field, and he's going to be caught from behind. Noble caught him again. It's 42-10 Carthage with 11:35 left to play in the fourth quarter. So Carthage is really putting it on Kilgore tonight. Again, not a big surprise. Carthage is going to be strong this year, and unfortunately the Buckeyes are going to have to get past them around the 3rd or 4th round and to make it back to the state championship. So that's going to be one to anticipate.
It is absolutely new year. They come back to our region. They're not in the South region anymore. And those two on a collision course for sure, as both teams coming out playing well tonight in their opening game.
All right, here's the snap. Handoff, number 10, right side, dodges one would-be tackler. Number 3, or actually Noble, comes flying across there. Thought he had him for a 5-yard loss, and he missed him.
More importantly, Jeff, the clock keeps running, and they've got another player down.
Yeah, this is like the 8th player tonight with a cramp, but it's just, again, first game. That's how it works. You know, I'm surprised that Eric Connis doesn't have a cramp tonight, being our wireless tower tonight, holding our wireless device.
Once again, folks, this is going to be worth watching again on Saturday if you missed anything on Friday night. The Buckeyes with a 17-point lead with 6.5 minutes left. The black flag looks to put their first name on that flag of the year. And hopefully it won't be the last Bulldog name that they put on that flag either, Jeff. But I would say at this point, an absolute fantastic. How do you pick between Ashton Haynes on offense and Roe Llewellyn on defense in terms of, you got to make them co-players of the game?
All right, here comes the snap. Chapel Hill fumble the ball. Buckeyes may get it.
We do. Buckeye football.
I think the Buckeyes may have that ball. And what does the referee say?
Nothing to say. Number 19 for the white, for the white team.
Got him handing the ball. They have really had trouble with fumbles tonight between the center and it's not the center's fault. That was a good snap, it looked like.
It's like they're trying to run before they catch it.
That's why. That's what I see too. So that's a lucky break for the Buckeyes. And if they can put this one in here, I'm going to feel a whole lot better about the rest of this game.
A whole lot better.
Again, 44-27.
Put big number 0 in to lead block for Kevion, and let's run some stats up and run some clock.
Yeah, Kevion Brinkley in at running back. High snap, hands it off to Brinkley, bounces out to the right side, finds a little bit of a hole. Probably good for about 5 yards on that carry.
I'll take it on first down for sure. Run, clock, run. Gave him 3 yards on that carry, bring up second down, maybe 4, second down and 6. As the Buckeyes put it into a little bit slower gear. 20 seconds left on the play clock.
Yeah, look at him to keep it on the ground. You're gonna Hand off to Brinkley again. He'll dive, fall forward for a gain of 1. That'll bring up 3rd and 5.
Hey, if we're not going to score, let's run some play clock and
yeah, we
do
got
whatever
about
we got to do.
5 minutes and 15 seconds left to play in the game. Buckeyes want to just run the clock, try to get this first down. Really important. Looks like 3rd and 5. I would I'd do a keeper here, and they're going to around the right side, and he is gets the first down.
That's. Yeah, I saw number 11 do that a lot of his sophomore, junior year too.
Yeah.
Same dude, just same gene pool. And really, the thing that I got to compliment the most on Caden is just his poise tonight and keeping his cool and playing every single play.
Well, he has looked really poised tonight. He looks very comfortable back there in the pocket. He's in command of the offense. He really looks good.
Moving his teammates around.
I'm very impressed. Remember, that's a sophomore back there. Hand off to Brinkley. Touchdown, Buckeyes.
Buckeyes stretch this out to 50-27, and a lot of Chapel Hill folks heading for the house tonight as the Buckeyes have shown up. And for all you folks that were wondering, Gilmer's still Gilmer.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with this young team, like we talked about.
But
a lot
so
of
much
youth.
skill, Jeff.
A lot of youth.
And I got to tell you, clean. We've had clean snaps.
Yep.
We haven't had a lot of penalties.
I think we've had 3 maybe illegal procedures tonight. That's not bad for a first game.
I mean, it's been
that's usually
phenomenal.
where you struggle the most.
Kick is up.
Kick
Very
is
polished.
good.
Very polished on every aspect of the game. Special teams, defensively. These kids have come out here and really played a good game. I'm so proud of them. 51-27 Buckeyes lead.
At First National Bank, together we're better. We're a regional bank, big enough for all of East Texas, that cares and is invested in the people and communities we serve, with the strength and services to meet the needs of every customer, big or small. From business financing for big companies and small mom and pops to our family of personal banking customers. First National Bank of East Texas. Together, we're better. And we think that's kind of a big deal.
Please join Jeff Rash and Alan Metzel each Monday morning for the Gilmer Buckeyes Coaches Show. Every week, Jeff and Alan discuss elements of the program, speak with special guests, give player updates, review key plays from the prior week, and give insights on the opponent for the current week. As a fan, this is your chance to go into the locker room and behind the scenes. To view the Coaches Show, go to GilmerBuckeyes.com and click on the Coaches Show button. Go Buckeyes!
All right, time for the kickoff. 4:44 left to play in the game. Gilmer Buckeyes 51, Bulldogs 27. As the Bulldogs came out hard and scary in the third quarter and just have lost the momentum. High pooch kick fielded on the 20-yard line by number 1. Cuts up the middle, getting loose from tackles. Nice return by the Bulldogs as he crosses the 40 to the 44. So Bulldogs going to come out, guns blazing.
4:36 left to play in this game. Down 51-27. As Chapel Hill really expecting to win this game tonight, Jeff. And then, of course, it's hard to win a game when you turn the ball over 6 times, +6 in the turnover category for the Buckeyes, who have just played clean. Took care of the football tonight. The young quarterback in his first start plays poised. He throws the ball well. There were no, oh my gosh, that one got away from me plays. Caden really playing as like he's been doing his whole life.
All right, here's the snap. Quarterback rolls to his left side, looking to pass, and throws it incomplete. He was under heavy pressure there by Elias.
Pass is incomplete.
Elias Castillo. Nice young man, Elias. Works for me every once in a while during the summers. Fine, polite young man, good worker.
And we have a lot of those wearing white tonight. I got to tell you, Jeff, to a man, And there's been several of these teams over the last couple of years. Well, I love every one of these kids. I mean, every single one of them.
They're a good group. Low snap, handoff, number 10, up the middle, found him a gap. He's running hard. Buckeyes got him before he got to the first down marker, but that's a good gain. You know, my son is a senior this year, so he's in this group, and I just, you know, every once in a while you get lucky, and this has just been a special group of young men that I've had the privilege of being around him. And getting to know them, and they're just all really good kids. I mean, all of them.
Every one of them, yes or no, sir.
They're just so polite, good kids.
We set up in the JV game. You know, every one of these guys were there. Every one of these guys, hello, Mr. Robinson, how are you doing?
Yep.
You know, appreciate all you do for us.
Yep.
And just great bunch of kids.
Good bunch of kids. Fumble on the play, Buckeyes got it. That is the seventh turnover. 3 fumbles, 4 interceptions tonight for the Buckeyes, and this is more of a discredit to the offense of the Bulldogs than it is a credit to the defense, to be honest with you.
That's true.
I mean, we took what they gave us, but they gave us a lot.
Yeah, a whole lot.
Most of the fumbles we didn't cause, we didn't hit, and you know, but we took advantage. So they really have got a lot of work to do as it pertains to their connection between the center and the quarterback, no question.
And it's a valuable time for the backups now.
I did too. I did.
Yeah, so you're going to get in at quarterback. You've got number 18 for the first time tonight. That's Jaden Edmond. Going to get him a few snaps tonight. There's the snap, handoff up the middle. And that ball was handed off to number 29, and that is Alex Sims. So Buckeyes just, you know, they want to run the clock out. Run the clock. It's 3:23 left to play. And really look good tonight. They look good.
Jeff,
I want to remind everybody that we're playing a Division I school. We're Division II. We're smaller. And they're ranked number 3 in the state. Now, I don't know if they will be after tonight.
No, but I can tell you, Jeff, these Gilmer Buckeyes ain't scared of nothing. The days of Gilmer doesn't play anybody in the pre-district schedule.
Another handoff up the middle. I agree with you.
We are punching so far above our weight class.
Yeah.
We've got still yet to come Lindell, who 2 years ago played in the state championship game. Paris, who is a 5A school, and then Kilgore, who is kind of getting it handed to him tonight. And that's all before we get 2 weeks off before we play Pleasant Grove, which will probably be week 1 of district play for the district championship in Pleasant Grove. So these Buckeyes have gotten off to a fantastic start to this season.
I was really impressed with the poise of Caden Tennyson tonight.
Great job.
You know, this was my first start as a quarterback as a sophomore against a team like this. I would have been nervous, and you know, he's been throwing the ball well. He's been poised and patient in the pocket. Well, we fumbled the ball, and it's going to be dropped for a loss. 29, look at this guy. He's trying to, just refuses to go down. Nice attempt there by Sims. That's going to bring 4th and long for the Buckeyes.
We'll go punt this ball.
So we'll go down and punt this deep. We got 2 minutes left in the game. And so the Buckeyes are going to...
I think we'll run this all the way down, Jeff, and call timeout.
Yeah, we'll run it down. We got 18 seconds on the play clock. We'll run all that time out, call a timeout, and then we'll come out and punt. But congratulations to our coaching staff tonight for a good game plan. They've been working on this game for 15 days.
Yep.
Just this game right here, and you can see that the game plan worked. They've got the right players in the right spot. Buckeyes take a timeout. We're going to do the same. We'll be right back to the conclusion.
Think there's nothing to do in a small town? We disagree. Gilmer, Texas. Come live what you've been looking for. Shop Gilmer. Play Gilmer. Live Gilmer.
two-time Hall of Fame inductees.
Back to the action here,
For the
Jeff.
conclusion of this game, 1:39, Todd, left to play.
Hey, I'll take a punt here and let it roll down and roll off about 10 seconds as Arona hopefully punts this down inside the 10.
I would have lost money on the spread tonight, Todd.
I really would have, too.
I would have lost a lot of money.
And I would be happy
I thought
to shell
maybe
it out.
10 points, maybe 10.
I called this one as a last-minute field goal win for the Buckeyes, hoping we would be +2 in the turnover category. I sent Alan a text just before they got on the bus
I remember
saying,
you told me that
yeah,
later
hey,
this week.
we just need to get the +2 on the turnover side. +7, we'll take that all day long, especially with this schedule. And
All
folks,
right.
let me tell you,
Arona, boy, our deep snapper is on the money, buddy. Tell you, what a good punt. It's going to go in the end zone. Maybe not. Look at that. What a great job by who else? Will Henderson. Got down there,
The boy can
threw the
fly.
ball out of the end zone to the 1 yard line.
the boy can fly. It's just, yeah. The guy number 8 that was letting it hit, thinking there's no way he's going to get to that ball, and literally by the time that he said the word ball, Will is catching it at the 1 yard line.
Yeah, it looked to me like he was had the ball in his hand in the end zone and then threw it back. But they're giving it to us. Ball's on the
Luckily,
2.
it's where you touch it in high school football. It doesn't continue on. It's dead right where you're told it, right where you touch it. So 99 yards away, number 8 comes in at quarterback position, 1:33 left to play. The Buckeye defense into the last series of the game.
All right, handoff up the middle. Buckeyes all over him. He gets maybe back to the line of scrimmage, and the clock is just going to continue to tick.
Maybe 2 plays left here, Jeff. Nothing.
Yeah,
cute
unless
from
they start
Chapel
taking
Hill.
timeouts or something, you know. 1:09 left on the play clock, and the Buckeyes starting out with a very impressive win.
Very impressive.
51-27
over the number 3 ranked team in Division I.
Division I.
And just think about it, Jeff. We're playing
They're number
all
3.
Division I and 5A schools in the preseason. We don't even
Handoff
play
up the
in
middle
Division II
again.
schools.
Buckeyes stuff them. Now keep in mind, this is mostly backup players, and they are stuffing the first team of the Chapel Hill Bulldogs on the line of scrimmage.
That should be the last play of the game, Jeff.
Yeah, you got 30 seconds left on the clock. What an impressive win tonight by the Buckeyes, and congratulations again to the coaching staff. And man, it feels good, doesn't it? I love the first game of the year. That
For
first
the
Friday
last
night.
22 years in a row, the Buckeyes have won their opener, and 17 of those, Jeff, they've scored over 50 points.
And we've had the privilege for 21 of those years to be right here. Pass complete with 4 seconds left on the clock, so they're going to move the clocks on that first down, move the chains rather, and that will be it for the Buckeyes. I want to say hello to our good friends Kurt and Jeff Traylor down at UTSA. They listen to the game tonight. I want to say good luck to them this season. We hope they have a great season.
Good luck to them.
I anticipate good things from them this year. And around the right side, they're going to tackle him, and that's the end of the game. The Buckeyes win 51-27. Folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm sorry for the technical problems that we had. Not our fault. We didn't have a Wi-Fi connection, and they don't have a good cell signal down here. But rewatch the game tomorrow for any pieces you may have missed. It'll be worth it. And we'll be back next week, Friday night, 7:30 in Gilmer, as the Gilmer Buckeyes take on, who we got next week?
Kilgore.
All right, folks.
Buckeyes win.
Again, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next week.